it's not so bad, it's not so bad. I want to thank you for giving me the best day of my life. Oh, just to be with you is having the best day of my life. Push the door, I'm home at last, and I'm soaking through and through. And then you handed me a towel, and all I see is you. And even if my house falls down now, I wouldn't have a clue, because you're near me. And I want to thank you for giving me the best day of my life.
This is Nationwide 90 FM, owned and operated by Nationwide News Network. We broadcast from our studios at 6 Bradley Avenue, Kingston 10, Jamaica. Transmitting on the FM 90 band. 90.3 from Peters Rock in St. Andrew and Murphy Hill in St. Anne. Serving Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, St. Anne, parts of Clarendon, St. Mary, and St. Thomas. 90.5 from Huntley in Manchester, transmitting to St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Manchester, Clarendon, rural St. Andrew, and parts of St. Thomas. And 90.7 from Coopers Hill in St. Andrew and Flower Hill in St. James, serving Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, sections of Trelawney, Kingston, St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. Mary, Portland, and St. Anne. Nationwide 90 FM also broadcasts on the World Wide Web on nationwideradiojm.com and on Flow on channel 916. Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media. You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6 o'clock.
From the studios of Nationwide Radio, morning radio the right way. It's Nationwide This Morning.
A very good morning to you. I'm Tona Thomas. Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning, Friday, April 11, 2025. Looming court battle over Portmore boundary realignment. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness warns electors about questionable housing promises. Manchester police say curfews across the parish are to be lifted this weekend. In regional news, the Trinidad opposition vows to pay cane farmers outstanding sum of $110 million. In international news, China raises import duties on U.S. goods to 125% in escalating tit-for-tat trade war. In sports, Reggae Boys are drawn in Group C for 18th CONCACAF Gold Cup. And in business, VM Investments lists bond offering on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. The details after the break.
Is your business tax compliant? At Dodge & Global, we take the stress out of tax planning, ensuring you maximize deductions and minimize liabilities. From corporate tax to VAT compliance, we've got you covered. Call 876-929-3670 or 876-926-5210. Email us at info@dodgen.global. Visit us at dodgen.global. Dodge & Global, your tax experts.
Catch the first news of the day, a comprehensive package of local, international, sports, and business news. The news at 6 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. Another potential legal battle regarding the proposed parish of Portmore could be brewing. Attorney representing the PNP King's Counsel Michael Hilton is sounding the alarm over a recent letter sent by the Houses of Parliament calling for the Electoral Commission of Jamaica ECJ to appear before its Constituency Boundaries Committee next week, Wednesday. The ECJ has also been requested to submit a report no later than the end of May. The concerns are outlined in letters sent to Attorney General Dr. Derek McCoy and the Clerk to the Houses of Parliament, Ms. Colleen Lowe. Casey Hilton argues the request is improper and risks compromising the law and independence of the ECJ. Siobhan Campbell tells us more.
In a letter to the Clerk of the Houses of Parliament, Colleen Lowe, dated April 8, Mr. Hilton references a letter sent on her behalf to Chairman of the ECJ, Earl Jarrett, regarding the boundaries of the proposed parish of Portmore. That letter, dated April 4, asks the ECJ to attend a meeting of the Constituency Boundaries Committee of Parliament on April 16, provide an update at that meeting, and then provide a report by May 31, 2025. Mr. Hilton says the letter sent on behalf of Ms. Lowe goes beyond what had been decided by the committee during its deliberations on April 1. For reference, here are the instructions as outlined by Speaker of the House and Chairman of the committee, Juliet Holness.
We are forwarding the ruling of the court. That's what we're forwarding. We're forwarding a copy of what would have been attached to the Act and the Act from Parliament. We are forwarding a copy that is a little clearer in terms of color of the exact document. And the only thing I've added to what I've been reiterating is but to ask that time be considered and it is not languishing forever, that they return to us by the 31st of May with an indication with where they are, what is the final.
With an update.
With an update. On or before the 31st. So we're just setting a timeline to say, look, by the 31st of May, they would have come back to us at the very latest.
Mr. Hilton says it would also be improper for the committee to purport to impose on the ECJ a deadline by which it should complete its work. The King's Counsel says the ECJ should not depart from its established processes in order to facilitate the government's timeline. A similar letter was sent to Attorney General Dr. Derek McCoy, also dated April 8. Dr. McCoy is advising the committee on the Portmore matter. Casey Hilton says the letter to the ECJ suggests that the committee is considering embarking upon, or has purported to embark upon, a constituency boundary amendment exercise. He says that Section 67 of the Constitution provides in relevant part that the committee shall submit reports not less than 4 nor more than 6 years from the date of the submission of its last report. Mr. Hilton says he's been instructed that the committee issued a report in January 2018. He says it would seem to him that 6 years having passed, it cannot now issue a further report. Casey Hilton says he would appreciate receiving the Attorney General's urgent comments. Last month, the Supreme Court lifted a temporary injunction which had blocked the government from proceeding with the move to turn Portmore into the country's 15th parish. It also accepted the government's position that the transition would only come into operation after the completion of the procedure outlined in Section 67 of the Constitution regarding the constituency boundaries. Siobhan Campbell for Nationwide News.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness is urging electors to be wary of housing promises that could lead to them trading proven solutions for dodgy pledges. The Prime Minister says his administration has already exhausted every option to make housing more affordable. More in this report from Shalois Michael.
With the general election set to be called this year, the matter of housing remains a top selling point for both political parties. During his contribution to the budget debate, Prime Minister Holness reminded the nation of his administration's efforts to deliver affordable housing. He also announced a raft of measures that will also be implemented this fiscal year. Chief among them is increasing the loan limit for a single NHT contributor, as well as lowering the deposit requirements for low-income earners. Opposition leader Mark Golding also put forward several measures which he says will dramatically increase access to affordable housing under his government. This includes a $1 billion loan facility for young first-time buyers, and a rent-to-own initiative through the Housing Trust. But speaking at an NHT groundbreaking ceremony in Barrett Hall, St. James on Thursday, Dr. Holness urged electors to be cautious of unreasonable promises.
It's good in the promising season that people are going to tell you that they're going to give you horses that can fly. But you have to be very careful of those promises. Study them carefully. Look at the real facts and the real constraints. Because at the end of the day, should you believe that horses can fly and you accept that promise, you will be greatly disappointed.
According to the Prime Minister, his administration has exhausted every possible measure and is delivering the ultimate affordable housing solution.
The reality is that your administration, this government, has put in place all the possible measures that balance the fiscal responsibility, the environmental concerns, the land availability, the market conditions, and the housing financing to come up with what I would consider to be the optimum solutions. We're not only building homes, but we are ensuring that there is equity in housing ownership in the society.
The groundbreaking ceremony will see the construction of over 1,000 housing solutions. Dr. Holness says the project is another indicator of the government's proven solution to deliver houses to the average Jamaican.
The Barrett Hall housing development is a symbol of our government's unwavering commitment to expanding opportunity, especially for those who need it most. This project, comprising 1,565 housing solutions, detached one-bedroom and two-bedroom units, as well as service lots, is part of a growing and coordinated push to meet the demand for affordable housing across the island.
Shalois Michael for Nationwide News.
A second man has been charged with the November 2024 murder of a 72-year-old retiree. He is a 23-year-old Malik Hepburn, a higgler of Buckner in Maypen, Clarendon. The deceased retiree is Alan Rattigan of Ocherius in St. Anne. The fatal incident occurred on Monday, November 18. The St. Anne's Bay police report that Rattigan's caregiver stumbled up on his body around 10 p.m. The elderly man's hands and feet were bound. The caregiver called the police, who took Rattigan to the hospital where his death was confirmed. Investigations revealed that Rattigan had invited Hepburn and 4 other men to his home. During the visit, an altercation developed, during which Rattigan was allegedly strangled. An undetermined amount of jewelry, shoes, and a black mobile phone belonging to Rattigan were stolen during the incident. The first man charged in connection with the incident was 32-year-old Philip Robinson, otherwise called Little Man, of Farm Avenue, Maypen in Clarendon. All active curfews in Manchester are expected to be discontinued this weekend. Activities in communities such as Craighead, Silent Hill, Coleyville, Dobson, and others near Christiana have been under the security measure for over 2 months. Restrictions have also been enforced in sections of Mandeville and Williamsfield for several weeks. Addressing Thursday's meeting of the Manchester Municipal Corporation, Sub-Officer in charge of the Manchester Community Safety and Security Branch, Inspector Berthlyn Lloyd, says restrictions are to be lifted.
Having spoken to my commander before attending this meeting, he has assured me that with what is happening, and if we continue to have Manchester safe and with crimes trending down this weekend, all curfews will be lifted in the Manchester space.
Curfews in the porous area were lifted 4 weeks ago. Inspector Lloyd says the measures have contributed to a 49% decrease in major crimes across the parish so far this year.
For the period January 1 to April 5, 2025, Manchester Division has recorded 39 serious crimes when compared to 76 for the corresponding period for 2024. This indicates a decrease of 37 or 49%. Murders, we have number 4 reported for this year in comparison to 11 for the same period last year. This indicates a decrease of 7 or 64%.
Inspector Berthlyn Lloyd, a sub-officer in charge of the Manchester Community Safety and Security Branch. Meanwhile, Inspector Lloyd has expressed concern over loitering by school children in Mandeville.
We are having serious issues in Mandeville where we have children loitering even very close to here in the vicinity of the gas station there, at the Baptist Church, on the compound of the Mandeville Parish Church, at Grove Court and at Ballyholy Road. We are having issues where on a daily basis the police have to be behind some students. So it has to be a collective effort on everybody's part to ensure that we protect our children.
Inspector Berthlyn Lloyd, a sub-officer in charge of the Manchester Community Safety and Security Branch. In the meantime, there was uproar in the Municipal Corporation meeting as the debate continued over a proposed new park for the town of Mandeville. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness recently announced that the National Housing Trust would be building a new park in the town. But Mayor of Mandeville, Donovan Mitchell, said focus should instead be placed on renovating the Mandeville Market. Minority Leader and JLP Councillor for the Craighead Division, Omar Miller, took issue with the mayor's comments. He questioned why previous PNP administrations did not complete the development of the market.
When we are saying that we don't want the money to fix any park, but we want the market to be fixed. Yes, the market to be fixed. But it is not the responsibility, the sole responsibility of the Prime Minister. So if it is that he comes to us and wants to do something for the people of Manchester, let him do it.
We're not running a party shop here.
Right? Let him do it. And I was disappointed.
So what is the question now, sir?
The question is, if after 40 years of the People's National Party, I will represent that party. My question is, why wasn't it done under the People's National Party?
In response, Mayor Mitchell says the plans to renovate the Mandeville Market were shelved after the PNP lost the 2016 general election.
The PNP lost the elections in 2016. Prior to that, the document went to OPM, it went to OPM, it went to DBJ, it went to the ministry under Minister Ascot, and it was followed through. The only thing that was left is for the Minister of Local Government to take the matter back to Cabinet so it could go to the public-private partnership. And up until now, that project cannot be found in the ministry because it was placed in file 13.
Donovan Mitchell, Mayor of Mandeville. Mayor of Montego Bay, Richard Vernon, insists there's nothing political behind the decision to remove political signs posted across the municipality. Earlier this week, the opposition PNP called on Mayor Vernon to cease and desist from removing the party's advertising boards in the city. PNP General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell claims the removal of the campaign material is unlawful. But speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Thursday, Mayor Vernon says he acted lawfully.
There's a difference between politics and governance. So they're calling on the ombudsman to get involved. I don't believe that it is something that is properly substantiated. You call the ombudsman to deal with the political parties. We are dealing with a matter of governance. We're not dealing with politics. The pending election, which is the date that the election is announced, between that date and the election day, that is what we are working with, and that is what we have been practicing for a very long time in St. James. I can't speak to the rest of the parishes.
Mayor Vernon notes that the corporation received legal advice on the matter.
The concern now is that they started to increase these signs right across the city of Montego Bay to the point where they started to use our revenue board, where we have designated them for the promoters who have their parties, their events. We built them for that purpose, and we realized that they start taking over those spaces. And that is untenable. So that is what caused us to say, you know what, remove them or we will remove them for you. And we gave a week's notice for them to be removed. Nothing was done, so we started the process. We took them down. A political matter has to do with parties. A governance matter has to do with the application of the law from a governing authority. So I want to make that clear. And there are political undertones to it, and I can understand why they're coming with it, but it has nothing to do with it, and I am not interested in that.
Richard Vernon, Mayor of Montego Bay. And that's it for the local segment of the news. Up next, regional and international.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10 or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
In regional and international news this morning, regional leader of the opposition in Trinidad and Tobago, Kamla Prasad-Bisesa, has pledged to pay former private cane farmers over 100 million TNT dollars if the UNC is re-elected to office. The sum represents outstanding amounts from a program to help farmers transition out of the sugarcane industry. Prasad-Bisesa made the announcement at the UNC's Labour Forum Thursday night. She explained that while her party was head of the government, it promised the farmers 140 million TNT dollars as their final payment for the transition. She said the sum was to be paid in 3 tranches. The opposition leader said the government made the first payment of 30 million before the PNM assumed office in 2015. She alleges that upon assuming office, then Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley put the brakes on the repayment program. International, China announced countermeasures by raising tariffs on U.S. goods from 84% to 125% starting Saturday. The U.S. and China have escalated a new trade war by raising tariffs, even as President Donald Trump hit a pause on tariffs for other countries. China notably has said it would fight the American tariffs with its own countermeasures, calling Trump's actions economic bullying, which led Trump to retaliate by continuously hiking up tariffs this week. Trump's universal tariffs on China total 145%. And that's it for regional and international. Up next, sports.
Outperform, outlast, with top performance, Jackhammer, reliable, full stop, not comma. We have the expertise for drilling and demolition. We have the power tools for plumbers and electricians. Pan select tools, 3 parts and 3 repairs. 3 parts, 3 repairs. 2 to 3 years. Hilton, available at Delta Supply, 106 Hagley Park Road. Call us at 876-302-6111-4. Delta Supply, we service what we sell.
Max Field Bakery, breads and buns and Max Field Bakery for breads and buns and bullets too. It's Max Field Bakery for the best piece of bun you know. That's
Maxfield Easter Bun, the juicy fruity Easter Bun. Order online and send abroad at maxfieldbakery.com or call Maxfield Bakery at 926-2160 or 929-3897 and get yours before they're done. Skiata says so.
Every tap brings you closer to winnings with NCB ePOS. Start accepting card payments on your mobile device for a chance to win a $200,000 cash prize, a business consultancy, and a digital marketing package. Plus, the merchant with the most transactions each month wins a $100,000 cash prize. From April 4 to July 25, 2025, every tap increases your chances to win. Visit jncb.com/everytapcounts to sign up today. Conditions apply. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
Time now for your morning sports. The Reggae Boys were drawn in Group C for the 18th CONCACAF Gold Cup in Canada and USA from June 14 to July 6. They're joined by Panama, Guatemala, and Guadeloupe. Jamaica played Guatemala at the last Gold Cup in the Qatar final stage and won 1-0 thanks to a goal from Amari Bell. The last time the boys faced Panama at the Gold Cup was in the quarterfinals in 2019, winning that game 1-0. Jamaica beat Guadeloupe 2-1 at the Gold Cup in 2021. SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California will host the first match of the tournament on June 14. Group A will feature Mexico, Costa Rica, Suriname, and the Dominican Republic. Canada, Honduras, El Salvador, and Curacao will compete in Group B. Meanwhile, Group D will feature USA, Haiti, Trinidad and Tobago, and guest team Saudi Arabia. Jamaica Scorpions will resume on 206 for 5 in their second innings of Day 3 of their 7th round regional 4-day game against the combined campuses and college at Sir Frank Worrell Ground in Trinidad and Tobago. Alden Thomas, 7, and Abijay Mansing, 2, are the not-out batsmen. The CCC were bowled out for 327 in their first innings. Shakir Paris made 112, which included 11 fours and 2 sixes, while Johan Jeremiah made 69 and Larry Edward 44. Mansing took 5 wickets, with Pete Salmon and Brad Barnes taking 2 each. Scores in the match so far: Jamaica Scorpions 133 and 206 for 5, combined campuses and college 327. At Queen's Park Oval in Port of Spain, champions Guyana Harpy Eagles will resume on 269 for 5 against Trinidad and Tobago Red Force. Kevin Sinclair, 21, and Kemo Paul are the not-out batsmen. The Red Force were bowled out for first innings 240. Gilles Gouli made 58, Cephas Cooper 50, and Kerry Pierre 38. Niall Smith picked up 4 for 49, while Paul took 3 wickets, and Ronaldo Ali Mohammed 2. Over at Coolidge Cricket Ground, the West Indies Academy beat Windward Islands Volcanoes by 10 wickets. Set 35 to win, the Academy men reached the target inside 4 overs. Akeem Auguste was unbeaten on 33, and Justin Jagasar 2 not out. Earlier, the Volcanoes were bowled out for 181 in their second innings. Kimani Milius made 40 and captain Alec Athenaeus 41. Final scores: Windward Islands Volcanoes 106 and 181, West Indies Academy 253 and 35 without loss. Finally, in your morning sports, Blown retained their KPMG Squash League title after defeating Saints 2-1 recently in their final at the Ligonier Club. Blown's Andrew Bicknell beat Saints' Leigh Dwyer, ended in straight sets. Saints' Jerzino Bell and Blown's captain Jake Mahfood took to the court in the decider match, with the odds against Mahfood based on Bell's unbeaten record in the league since it began in late February. Bell put on a masterful show to establish a 2-0 lead, but was pegged back by determined Mahfood, who won the third set. Bell then had a wretched Game 4, seemingly losing power and raking up errors as Mahfood went on in it. Mahfood then won Game 5 to seal the championship. Mahfood says coaching made the difference in his victory.
Yes, I mean, it was a phenomenal final. The games were so close. Andrew gave us a 1-love lead. I was down 2-love, and my teammates found opportunities where I could win points, and they told me at the break, you need to stop playing the ball short, bring the opponent further back, and I was able to do that, and it worked. So he got tired as well, so it was a battle of fitness, But in the last game, it could have gone either way. It was a nail-biting finish.
Jake Mafood. The third and final match saw Saints captain Mario O'Connor beating Blows of Fraser McConnell in straight sets. Swift Swingers defeated JDF in straight sets to cop third place, while Bell took home the MVP award. And that's it for your morning sports.
Jamaica! Get your tickets now for Arise 2025, the music celebration, and join the gathering with the Hoppers, Gospel Proclaimers, Rhoda Isabella, Carey Sales, and others at the National Arena, Easter Sunday, April 20 at 5 p.m. Group of 15, 6,000 per person. General 6,500 and VIP 9,500. Available at Source of Light Music Mart, SpurOpen.com/Arise 2025. Bring the family as we celebrate with the Hoppers. One awesome evening.
In business this morning, on Thursday, VM Investments Limited, VMIL, officially listed its latest bond offering on the Jamaica Stock Exchange, JSE. VMIL says it marks a significant milestone for the company as it continues to drive growth and deepen its impact in the local financial sector. The bond, originally set to raise $5.34 billion, saw exceptional demand from the investing public, resulting in an oversubscription of approximately $1.2 billion. Speaking during the listing ceremony, Assistant Vice President for Capital Markets Dwight Jackson said the bond issue is not only a vote of confidence from investors, but a catalyst for the next chapter of growth at VMIL. He says the proceeds will allow VM Investments a level of financial flexibility that would not have been possible before. VMIL says the capital raised will be strategically used to finance new projects, maintain robust liquidity, and support the company's continued expansion through acquisitions and private equity investments, laying a strong foundation for sustainable long-term growth. The bond offer opened on December 19, 2024, and was extended past its initial closing date of December 27, 2024, due to strong demand from the market. It closed on January 10, 2025. The BBC is reporting that the UK economy grew by more than expected in February. The Office for National Statistics, ONS, said the economy expanded by 0.5%, with the services sector having a strong month. Economists had predicted growth of just 0.1%, but the ONS said several factors contributed to the surprise rise, which was driven by a boost in manufacturing and production. The better-than-expected figures come as the UK economy braces itself for the impact of tariffs imposed on goods being imported to the US, with analysts warning that growth could prove short-lived. The UK is subject to the blanket 10% tariff on nearly all of its goods being brought into the U.S., which is expected to hit British exporters and also affect economic growth. The government has made growing the UK economy its top priority in its effort to improve living standards. And finally, in foreign exchange trading, the Jamaican dollar has gained 32 cents and will open trading this morning, selling for an average $158.45 against the benchmark US dollar. The Jamaican dollar has lost 70 cents and will open trading today, selling for an average $112.25 against the Canadian. And finally, the Jamaican has gained 33 cents and will open trading this morning, selling for an average $204.21 against the British pound. That's it for business this morning.
Clear your barrels and personal shipments with ease and convenience. Request customs contactless clearance today through CCP at jca.gov.jm. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
6:32.
Switch to your JUTC Smart Fare Card by May 31, 2025. The temperature brought to you by JUTC Smart Fare Card. Transforming your daily commute with smarter, easier, and more reliable travel is
25 degrees Celsius in capital city Kingston, 26 out west in Montego Bay, and 21 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
Yo, my boss. Yo, my general. Yo, my king. The new BK Mega Stacker. Come for run everything. Choose your style. Double, triple, or quad stack. Juicy grilled beef. Plus crispy bacon, some stackerific sauce, and layers of melted cheese. So if you think you can angle it, stackify yourself today. Order the BK Mega Stacker and have it your way. The new BK Mega Stacker. Built for satisfaction. Limited time. Only at Burger King.
In this uncertain U.S. immigration climate, you need expert guidance you can trust. The Consular Queen LLC handles visas, waivers, petitions, and more, making immigration stress-free. Don't navigate the process alone. Get professional support today. Call 470-593-8448 now. That's 470-593-8448. The Consular Queen. Unite families, change lives. 470-593-8448. Secure your future today.
Some dreamers picture a place they call home, a house with no mortgage, a home that they own. Some dream of owning their very own store, meet a cafe or florist, or growing one into more. Where one dreams of making luxury shopping the norm, others dream of sports cars, the kind that perform. But one thing in common these dreamers all need is to build their wealth so they can achieve.
Never settle for less than your dreams with Sagicor Investments. Call 888-SAGICOR to speak with a wealth advisor.
If there is no love in your heart, oh now, they will
nothing to eat. In the ghetto, bitter one sweet. Sitting in the darkness, searching for the light. Struggling in the ghetto, trying to do the right. Mother screaming, watch the car. But the hit and run man had gone too far. Sitting in the darkness, searching for the light.
Good morning, Mr. King, fear down that you have to pull it up. You have to pull it up. Good morning to you wherever you are listening to Nationwide 90 FM Nationwide Radio this morning. You're on the app, you are on YouTube, you're on your radio in your house, you're on the radio in your car, you are on the internet, you are on cable TV listening to us. Welcome. It's a pleasure to sit here and serve you. It's a pleasure to sit here and give you information. It's a pleasure to be your company in this time. If you're in good spirits, happy to elevate those spirits. If you're in bad spirits, happy to try to lift you out of the doldrums. If you're in between, trying to get you on the right side this morning, it is such a pleasure. Let me tell you this. That song, as them say in our country, Sandre took down I try to reach his seat. So, don't mind you, you're good man. Yeah? You know, that song that Mr. King started with, the Ziggy Marley and the Medley Makers, Tomorrow People. You know, a song from 88. King, remember that was an 88 song. 88 was Gilbert. So this is how I used to mark these things, King. So 88 was Gilbert. So 89 Reggae Grammy. That won the Reggae Grammy in 89. That album. And that Tomorrow People, as a little boy, I never know what it means. Tomorrow People, where is your past? But as I sing the tune, because the tune nice. But as you grew older, you understood what the song meant. And then that one that you just played, Mr. King, we should have a play over again. Come see I type again like I change the tune. You can't change the tune, Mr. King. That Lucky Dube, going back to my roots, I must credit. The first time I heard that song on radio was the gentleman from RGR, Dermot Hosey. He used to have a segment on the radio in the weekdays. I used to listen to it before I fell asleep to go to school the next morning, where he called the Global Beat, yeah, where he played quote unquote world music, and the man used to rinse this. So Dermot Hosey, big up yourself wherever you are this morning, sir. Play it again, Mr. King. Good morning, Sandre.
Good morning, George. Good morning, listeners. Of course, you know it is.
I wish I had locks.
But when we were at the party, I was disappointed. All we could hear there was the crocodile. All we could hear there was the shooby-dooby.
Boy, George, the people are saying this morning that you can get locks to buy. You know, you ever see the little hat where them have you can just put on. You could,
but the tourists them buy?
Yeah. And that's a real Rasta, you know. It's a king. Not like you, eh?
You know, King is a Rasta like Josie Wills. Because Josie Wills a big Rasta man, you know. Mike Henry a big Rasta man, and the man don't have locks. But a Rasta in their heart. King, wait, can you top that? Can you top Lucky Dube going back to my roots? Can Mr. King top it? Is the question for School Challenge quiz this morning. The Calabar old boy, what can he do to top Lucky Dube's going back to my roots? Play it, Mr. King.
Mr. King has left the chair. Mr. King has left. Mr. King has left the building, George. he's left the building, George.
Alright, squeeze it. Yeah, please. Maybe settle down myself. I need a drink of water. You're a bad man. You're a bad man. Calabar did well with you, sir. Calabar did well with you.
In the beginning was the Word.
Creation.
George, you asked for it.
Yes, man.
You asked for it.
Serve me right.
You was there prepared.
Come on, serve me right, man. He tricked me, though. Boy, he tricked me, man.
Created the heaven and the earth. Then created.
You know, say not play no more that you like. They just this alone and it's just done. Make it play still. I keep being amazed. This man's mother, Winston McIntosh, gave an interview after he died and said she never heard him curse a bad word in his life. I said, what? Peter Tosh, every other word is a bad word. She said she never hear Winston curse a bad word yet. Well, I can, yeah.
He's a shield upon my right and my left hand. So whom shall I be afraid?
Jeez, peace.
No, Mr. King, you're out there yourself.
Let me tell you this. What is most impressive, Sandre? The background vocals to this are oh my God, of the highest. The background vocals on this song are to die for.
The musical masterpiece, man. Musical masterpiece.
So whom shall I be Jah is my king. Jah is my guide in my resting and my rising. So whom shall I
produce a tune, King. Check it for me.
He's my guide.
The producer for that tune outdid himself.
So whom shall I be afraid?
Because even the instruments,
the guitar,
Jah
is my king.
Birds in the background, sea breeze.
Listen, man.
When the Philistines come down upon so
the waves.
He's my guide when my enemies come to devour. So whom shall I be afraid? Jah is my king. Jah is my guide from the pestilence of darkness. So whom shall I fear? He's my guide from the vampire.
Yeah, listen, George, yo. Those effects, listen.
Is there a better produced song anywhere Listen to this. No stop.
The elements, it just...
If I build this, we just walk gone. We just walk gone. If I build this, we just walk gone. Yeah, man, we just walk gone. It's over. Speaking of it's over, you can't have a what's on my mind, so you can cut this now, yeah?
The Ministry of Justice offers free counseling to victims of crime. Call 876-946-0663. The time by the Ministry of Justice is...
It's 6:49.
Unlock your dream home with a mortgage loan from JPS and Partners. Up to $40 million per couple, plus your NHT benefits. Conditions apply. The temperature, compliments of JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union. Your financial partner for life is...
It's 25 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 26 degrees Celsius out west in Montego Bay, and 21 degrees Celsius in the cool hills of Mandeville.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Experience togetherness this Easter, embarking on a one-of-a-kind adults-only retreat in a world where swaying palms meet endless sunsets. All-inclusive indulgence awaits here at Hideaway at Royalton Blue Waters. Tap into an all-in luxury vacation experience when you book between April 1 to 30. Contact us. Dial 876-632-7401. That's 876-632-7401. Speak to your local sales agent today.
At Kia, driving your future means joining the movement that inspires. Whether it's the small but mighty Picanto hatchback or the top-of-the-line tech-rich Sorento SUV, there's a Kia that perfectly fits your lifestyle and your budget. ATL Automotive has gotten Jamaicans behind the wheels of thousands of Kias for the past 7 years. And we're ready to get you behind the wheel of a Kia too. Simply visit the nearest Kia showroom for a test drive now.
What makes a Burrito Bond so attractive?
We have a history of strong financial performance and growth, demonstrating resilience.
Our leverage remains low relative to our peers.
The bond is available in both Jamaican and US dollars, ranging from tenures between 2 to 10 years at attractive interest rates. Plus, it's expected to be listed, which will enhance liquidity for all investors.
Burrito Bonds are Burrito strong. Download our prospectus, call a Burrito advisor, and invest today.
We're back with you. It's now time for Street Smart with Ludlow McLean. Ludlow, good morning.
Morning, Sundre. This is SR. All right. Good morning, George.
Morning, sir. Morning.
GD.
Yes, man.
Morning to our listeners all over there in the students. But just to tell you that there is some drizzle, well, overnight, and I think some drizzle continuing, depending on where you are. If those of you on the east, Harborview, heading out to Bull Bay, you're going to see some drizzle, and just want to urge you to be careful. You know, when it's drizzles, the road can be slippery, so just be careful. Those of you fast drivers are very fast drivers. But coming in that area, just expect a little bit of build up in the vicinity of the roundabout. But the roadways generally coming from that side is not too bad. But heading on to the, Surface Horizon Glass Pole, going through the Rockford area there via Windward Road, it's pretty good going. If you're going via Michael Manley Boulevard, going past the Manley Meadows scheme, it's all good, no problems. Going out there, love the stretch all the way out, so you won't have a problem. And if you're on the opposite side, Windward Road, going further onto Victoria Avenue, it's pretty good vehicular movement all the way into East Queen Street. East Queen Street, going towards East Parade, South Parade, West Parade, there is busy movement in that particular area, but nothing to be alarmed about. But things will take some time as it picks up. So if you're on the west, though, coming east, that's where your challenge is. from the boulevard, Malines intersection, and even beyond that from 6 miles. As early this morning, that area has been busy, and also during that 6 miles to 3 miles area. Just remember, I can't emphasize or re-emphasize, the roadways are slippery, so just be careful as you traverse. All right, it's over to you, Sanjay.
Thank you so much, Ludlow. That was Street Smart. It's now time for a word of the day.
Your word of the day is spelled Harry. Harry.
Harry. Harry. Harry.
What a word of the day. Harry. Harry was first used in first recorded before 900. It's Middle English, derivative of army, and it means nobody will be surprised by the meaning. It means to harass, to agitate, trouble, or as if by repeated attacks. It means to ravage, as in war. So when you say you were hustled and harried, that's the Harry this morning, not the name like Prince Harry, the Ginger Prince. Yeah, Harry. Harry, your word of the day. Features up next, and then the news at the top of the hour.
Have you ever sat and thought about what your parenting style is? This week on Parenting Tips, we will look at some of the styles of parenting and what they entail. One of the interesting things about being a parent is that there is great variation in how we raise our children. At the same time, there are many commonalities from one parent to another. In fact, there is enough similarity that researchers have tried to group parents into 4 common parenting styles. Your parenting style refers to the combination of strategies that you use to raise your children. The work of Diane Baumrind in the 1960s created one commonly referenced categorization of parenting styles. The 4 Baumrind parenting styles have distinct names and characteristics: authoritarian or disciplinarian, permissive or indulgent, uninvolved, and authoritative. Authoritarian parents are often thought of as disciplinarians. They use a strict discipline style with little negotiation possible. Punishment is common. Communication is mostly one way, from parent to child. Rules usually are not explained. Parents with this style are typically less nurturing. Expectations are high with limited flexibility. Permissive or indulgent parents mostly let their children do what they want and offer limited guidance or direction. They are more like friends than parents. Their discipline style is the opposite of strict. They have limited or no rules and mostly let children figure problems out on their own. Communication is open, but these parents let children decide for themselves rather than giving direction. Uninvolved parents give children a lot of freedom and generally stay out of their way. Some parents may make a conscious decision to parent in this way, while others are less interested in parenting or unsure of what to do. No particular discipline style is utilized. An uninvolved parent lets a child mostly do what he wants, probably out of a lack of information or caring. Communication is limited. Authoritative parents are reasonable and nurturing and set high, clear expectations. Children with parents who demonstrate this style tend to be self-disciplined and think for themselves. This style is thought to be most beneficial to children. Disciplinary rules are clear, and the reasons behind them are explained. Communication is frequent and appropriate to the child's level of understanding. Expectations and goals are high but stated clearly. Children may have input into goals. Though there are a number of parenting styles, few people fit neatly into one single category. Many rather raise children using a combination of styles. Think of the 4 styles as a continuum instead of 4 distinct ways to parent. Ideally, you should think about your child or children and what they need from you at specific points in their life. That's it for parenting tips this week.
Fearless and fair, Nationwide 90 FM.
Sometimes we forget how important it is to have water. So today, I'll remind you about the many benefits of drinking water. I'm Tana, and Lifestyle Pages starts now. Consuming lots of water is a booster for your energy levels. Water also flushes out toxins because you remove waste through sweat and urination. And the good old trick to improve your skin is to have lots of water. It improves skin complexion, moisturizes your skin, gets rid of wrinkles, and it's the best anti-aging treatment around. Drinking plenty of water helps fight against the flu. It's also a natural headache remedy. Water helps relieve and prevent headaches. Ladies, consuming lots of water also relieves menstrual cramps. Finally, you will love this one. It saves you money. Even if you choose bottled water, it's still cheaper than a sugar-filled drink. Water is free. I'm Tana, and those were your Lifestyle Pages.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting.
Jamaica, let's make road safety a priority. Slow down, stay focused. Remember, every life matters. The time brought to you by the JIS is...
News time, 7 o'clock.
If you need to build it, plumb it, weld it, pave it, or power it, National Supply has it. Get the best brands for the job at Jamaica's Industrial Hardware Superstore, Kingston Ormo Bay. The temperature by National Supply is
25 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 26 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 21 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
The most credible news in the morning. The news at 7 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Coming up in the news at 7 today, Friday, April 11, 2025, PNP takes issue with Parliament's summoning of ECJ over Portmore boundary realignment. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness warns electors about questionable housing promises. Manchester Police say curfews across the parish are to be lifted this weekend. And in international news, China again raises import taxes on U.S. goods in escalating tit-for-tat trade war.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. Another potential legal battle regarding the proposed parish of Portmore could be brewing. Attorney representing the PNP, King's Counsel Michael Hilton, is sounding the alarm over a recent letter sent by the Houses of Parliament calling for the Electoral Commission of Jamaica, ECJ, to appear before its Constituency Boundaries Committee next week, Wednesday. The ECJ has also been requested to submit a report no later than the end of May. The concerns are outlined in letters sent to Attorney General Dr. Derek McCoy and the Clerk to the Houses of Parliament, Colleen Lowe. Casey Hilton argues the request is improper and risks compromising the law and independence of the ECJ. Chevron Campbell tells us more.
In a letter to the Clerk of the Houses of Parliament, Colleen Lowe, dated April 8, Mr. Hilton references a letter sent on her behalf to Chairman of the ECJ, Earl Jarrett, regarding the boundaries of the proposed parish of Portmore. That letter, dated April 4, asks the ECJ to attend a meeting of the Constituency Boundaries Committee of Parliament on April 16, provide an update at that meeting, and then provide a report by May 31, 2025. Mr. Hilton says the letter sent on behalf of Ms. Lowe goes beyond what had been decided by the committee during its deliberations on April 1. For reference, here are the instructions as outlined by Speaker of the House and Chairman of the Committee, Juliet Holness.
We are forwarding the ruling of the court. That's what we're forwarding. We're forwarding a copy of what would have been attached to the Act and the Act from Parliament. We are forwarding a copy that is a little clearer in terms of color of the exact document. And the only thing I've added to what I've been reiterating is but to ask that time be considered, and it is not languishing forever, that they return to us by the 31st of May with an indication with where they are, what is the final.
With an update.
With an update. on or before the 31st. So we're just setting a timeline to say, look, by the 31st of May, they would have come back to us at the very latest.
Mr. Hilton says it would also be improper for the committee to purport to impose on the ECJ a deadline by which it should complete its work. The King's Counsel says the ECJ should not depart from its established processes in order to facilitate the government's timeline. A similar letter was sent to Attorney General Dr. Derek McCoy, also dated April 8. Dr. McCoy is advising the committee on the Portmore matter. Casey Hilton says the letter to the ECJ suggests that the committee is considering embarking upon, or has purported to embark upon, a constituency boundary amendment exercise. He says that Section 67 of the Constitution provides in relevant part that the committee shall submit reports not less than 4 nor more than 6 years from the date of the submission of its last report. Mr. Hilton says he's been instructed that the committee issued a report in January 2018. He says it would seem to him that 6 years having passed, it cannot now issue a further report. Casey Hilton says he would appreciate receiving the Attorney General's urgent comments. Last month, the Supreme Court lifted a temporary injunction which had blocked the government from proceeding with the move to turn Portmore into the country's 15th parish. It also accepted the government's position that the transition would only come into operation after the completion of the procedure outlined in Section 67 of the Constitution regarding the constituency boundaries. Siobhan Campbell for Nationwide News.
Thank you, Siobhan. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness is urging electors to be wary of housing promises that could lead to them trading proven solutions for dodgy pledges. The Prime Minister says his administration has already exhausted every option to make housing more affordable. We have more in this report from Shalois Michael.
With the general election set to be called this year, the matter of housing remains a top selling point for both political parties. During his contribution to the budget debate, Prime Minister Holness reminded the nation of his administration's efforts to deliver affordable housing. He also announced a raft of measures that will also be implemented this fiscal year. Chief among them is increasing the loan limit for a single NHT contributor, as well as lowering the deposit requirements for low-income earners. Opposition leader Mark Golding also put forward several measures which he says will dramatically increase access to affordable housing under his government. This includes a $1 billion loan facility for young first-time buyers and a rent-to-own initiative through the Housing Trust. But speaking at an NHT groundbreaking ceremony in Barrett Hall, St. James on Thursday, Dr. Holness urged electors to be cautious of unreasonable promises.
It's good in the promising season that people are going to tell you that they're going to give you horses that can fly. But you have to be very careful of those promises. Study them carefully. Look at the real facts and the real constraints. Because at the end of the day, should you believe that horses can fly and you accept that promise, you will be greatly disappointed.
According to the Prime Minister, his administration has exhausted every possible measure and is delivering the ultimate affordable housing solution.
The reality is that your administration, this government, has put in place all the possible measures that balance the fiscal responsibility, the environmental concerns, the land availability, the market conditions, and the housing financing to come up with what I would consider to be the optimum solutions. We're not only building homes, but we are ensuring that there is equity in housing ownership in the society.
The groundbreaking ceremony will see the construction of over 1,000 housing solutions. Dr. Holness says the project is another indicator of the government's proven solution to deliver houses to the average Jamaican.
The Barrett Hall housing development is a symbol of our government's unwavering commitment to expanding opportunity, especially for those who need it most. This project, comprising 1,565 housing solutions, detached 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom units, as well as service lots, is part of a growing and coordinated push to meet the demand for affordable housing across the island.
Shalois Michael for Nationwide News.
Thank you, Shaloy. A second man has been charged with the November 2024 murder of a 72-year-old retiree. He is 23-year-old Malik Hepburn, a higgler of Buckner in Maypen, Clarendon. The deceased retiree is Alan Rattigan of Ocherius in St. Anne. The fatal incident occurred on Monday, November 18. The St. Anne's Bay police report that Rattigan's caregiver stumbled upon his body around 10 p.m. The elderly man's hands and feet were bound. The caregiver called the police, who took Rattigan to the hospital, where his death was confirmed. Investigations revealed that Rattigan had invited Hepburn and 4 other men to his home. During the visit, an altercation developed, during which Rattigan was allegedly strangled. An undetermined amount of jewelry, shoes, and a black mobile phone belonging to Rattigan were stolen during the incident. The first man charged in connection with the incident was 32-year-old Philip Robinson, otherwise called Lickleman, of Farm Avenue, Maypen in Clarendon. All active curfews in Manchester are expected to be discontinued this weekend. That's according to Sub-Officer in charge of the Manchester Community Safety and Security Branch, Inspector Berthlyn Lloyd. She was addressing Thursday's meeting of the Manchester Municipal Corporation.
Having spoken to my commander before attending this meeting, he has assured me that with what is happening, and if we continue to have Manchester safe and with crimes trending down, this weekend, all curfews will be lifted in the Manchester space.
Activities in communities such as Craighead, Silent Hill, Colleyville, Dobson and others near Christiana have been under the security measure for over 2 months. Restrictions have also been enforced in sections of Mandeville and Williamsfield for several weeks. The Poros area, which had been under curfew since October 2024, had the measure lifted 4 weeks ago. Inspector Lloyd says the measures have contributed to a 49% decrease in major crimes across the parish so far this year.
For the period January 1 to April 5, 2025, Manchester Division has recorded 39 serious crimes when compared to 76 for the corresponding period for 2024. This indicates a decrease of 37 or 49%. Murders, we have a number of 4 reported for this year in comparison to 11 for the same period last year. This indicates a decrease of 7 or 64%.
Inspector Berthlyn Lloyd, Sub-Officer in charge of the Manchester Community Safety and Security Branch. Meanwhile, Inspector Lloyd has expressed concern over loitering by school children in Mandeville.
We are having serious issues in Mandeville where we have children loitering even very close to here in the vicinity at the gas station there, at the Baptist Church, on the compound of the Mandeville Parish Church, at Grove Court and at Ballyholy Road. We are having issues where on a daily basis the police have to be behind some students. So it has to be a collective effort on everybody's part to ensure that we protect our children.
Inspector Berthlyn Lloyd, Sub-Officer in charge of the Manchester Community Safety and Security Branch. The Mayor of Montego Bay, Richard Vernon, insists there's nothing political behind the decision to remove political signs posted across the municipality. Earlier this week, the opposition PNP called on Mayor Vernon to cease and desist from removing the party's advertising boards in the city. PNP General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell claimed the removal of the campaign material was unlawful. But speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Thursday, Mayor Vernon says he acted lawfully.
There's a difference between politics and governance. So they're calling on the ombudsman to get involved. I don't believe that it is something that is properly substantiated. You call the ombudsman to deal with the political parties. We are dealing with a matter of governance. We're not dealing with politics. The pending election, which is the date that the election is announced, between that date and the election day, that is what we are working with, and that is what we have been practicing for a very long time in St. James. I can't speak to the rest of the parishes.
Mayor Vernon notes that the corporation received legal advice on the matter.
The concern now is that they started to increase these signs right across the city of Montego Bay to the point where they started to use our revenue board, where we have designated them for the promoters who have their parties, their events. We built them for that purpose, and we realized that they start taking over those spaces, and that is untenable. So that is what caused us to say, you know what, remove them or we will remove them for you. And we gave a week's notice for them to be removed. Nothing was done, so we started the process. We took them down. A political matter has to do with parties. A governance matter has to do with the application of the law from a governing authority. So I want to make that clear, and there are political undertones to it, and I can understand why they're coming with it, but it has nothing to do with it, and I am not interested in that.
That's Richard Vernon, the mayor of Mandeville. There was uproar in the municipal corporation meeting in Mandeville on Thursday as the debate continued over a proposed new park for the town of Mandeville. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness recently announced that the National Housing Trust would be building a new park in the town. But Mandeville's Mayor Donovan Mitchell said focus should instead be placed on renovating the Mandeville market. Minority Leader and the JLP councillor for the Craighead Division, Omar Miller, took issue with the mayor's comments. He questioned why previous PNP administrations did not complete the development of the market.
When we are saying that we don't want the money to fix any park, but we want the market to be fixed. Yes, the market to be fixed. But it is not the responsibility, the sole responsibility of the Prime Minister. So if it is that he comes to us and wants to do something for the people of Manchester, let him do it. We're not running a party shop here. Right? Let him do it. And I was disappointed.
So what is the question now, sir?
The question is, if after 40 years of the People's National Party, why wasn't it done like the People's National Party?
That's Omar Miller, JLP councillor for the Craighead Division. In response, Mayor Mitchell said the plans to renovate the Mandeville market were shelved after the PNP lost the 2016 general election.
The PNP lost the elections in 2016. Prior to that, the document went to OPM, it went to OPM, it went to DBJ, it went to the ministry under Minister Ascot, and it was followed through. The only thing that was left is for the Minister of Local Government to take the matter back to Cabinet so it could go to the public-private partnership. And up until now, that project cannot be found in the ministry because it was placed in File 13.
Donovan Mitchell, Mayor of Mandeville. Overseas news now. China has announced countermeasures by raising tariffs on U.S. goods from 84 to 125% starting Saturday. The U.S. and China have escalated a new trade war by raising tariffs even as President Donald Trump hit a pause on tariffs for other countries. China says it would fight the American tariffs with its own countermeasures, calling Trump's actions economic bullying. This led Trump to retaliate by continuously hiking up tariffs this week. Trump's universal tariffs on China total 145%.
Sign up for the JN Money Card. It's safe, convenient, and free. The time by JN Money is
17.
Rent or buy your hurricane supplies from Total Tools. Visit 102 Main Street, Ocho-Rios, 34 Slipe Road, Kingston 5, or Lot C6, Drax Hall, St. Anne's Bay. The temperature brought to you by Total Tools Jamaica is
27 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 26 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 20 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
Who shops at Creative Building Finishes? You, the homeowner who creates luxurious spaces with our floor and wall tiles. The contractor and builder who are convinced that our ceramic tiles are right for the job. The architect and designer who make dreams come true with our wood look and porcelain tiles. Superior customer service, knowledgeable staff, inviting showroom, and you get where this is going, right? Shop 5 Red Hills Road or call 876-929-5553. Get tiles, get Creative Building Finishes.
Home ownership is such a big deal, you might think it's impossible. Good thing VMBS makes the impossible possible. Get to your down payment faster with iSave for Home. Find the perfect place with our property services team at your side. When you're ready to apply for a VMBS mortgage online or in branch, we can assist. You'll see why the difference between impossible and possible is just 2 letters, VM. Transformation starts here. Visit transform.myvmgroup.com. Let's go.
Want to reduce your high electricity bills? Then Peak Energy has the solution for you. From grid-tied to hybrid solar inverters with full lithium-ion battery pack. Installation and maintenance packages available. Visit us at Shop 1, 3 Mosquito Valley Road, Red Hill, St. Andrew. Call 876-279-8820 or 944-0668. Or email us at peakenergysolutionsja@gmail.com. Peak Energy for everything solar.
Time now for Street Smarts 2 with Ludlow McLean. Good morning, Ludlow.
Morning, George, and our listeners, our multi-topical visitors. Good morning. Now, remember, if you're coming off the toll, heading to Marcus Garvey Drive, you'll notice a build-up there, slow moving as you make your way towards downtown Kingston. You can make it onto East Avenue. That's if you need to get uptown onto Maxfield Avenue. It's quite active along Maxfield Avenue, especially making it on the northbound side towards Eastwood Park Road. Hagley Park Road to Eastwood Park Road, Malines Road to Eastwood Park, heading into Arthur Tree Square. That is busy. All the lanes along Constance Road, and this is southbound, heading into Arthur Tree Square. Quite busy, quite active. If you're on the Hope Road end, it is also busy making it into Arthur Tree Square. Hope Trafalgar, Hope Waterloo. That also has traffic. Hope Arden Road and going Hope towards Lady Musgrave Road and even Hope heading into Ligonier. Those are quite busy, quite active. It's also active around Barbican Road from Grand Spence, going around to East Kings House Road to Whitcomb, and all along. If you're all the way up in the Ulop Road area, you're going to also find it busy, especially coming in towards Ligonier. And if you're on the Bonner Road side, Wellington Drive, Monroe Road, that's where you're going to have the traffic. Ulop Road, a steady stream flowing all the way southbound. It's going to be a busy Friday morning, and remember, after the support, the traffic continues. So be careful, be mindful. And I will always reemphasize the motorist. I don't know if it's ignorance or arrogance or whatever it is. You're not using your indicators, and sometimes it causes a problem. Boy, the police should be writing tickets left, right, and center. You need to indicate if you're turning left or right, or if you're making an overtake. That's it from me. Have yourselves a great weekend, and as usual, I want to say, at Street Smart, year 60 is all concerned. Remember, wet road, so be careful. George, it's over to you.
Respect to Ludlow. Thank you very much. Ludlow McLean there with the final Street Smarts for the week. Up next, Front Page. Front Page is brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business. For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
We're back with you. It's Nationwide this morning. We are on the front page. Now, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness would have been speaking on employment, skills, and digital development. He says the current level of employment is not enough to drive the kind of growth the country needs. He emphasized that there will be increased investment in developing human resources, aiming to create a steady stream of skilled workers to support business growth and development. The Prime Minister was speaking at the opening of the 2025 Outsource to Jamaica conference in Montego Bay on Thursday.
We are investing heavily in skills development. In 2023, we removed all tuition and administrative fees from our national training agency. So training is now free in Jamaica, and this is up to the associate degree level. In fact, we have gone even further, and we are now literally paying people to learn and get a skill. We now have programs in place where, in addition to receiving training free of cost, participants earn a stipend, which includes a training component. Jamaica is in the best position that we have ever been as a nation as it relates to employment. For all practical purposes, at 3.5% unemployment, Jamaica is technically at full employment. But every business owner, every investor will tell you that the economy is in a good place to generate employment. But for us to grow, and especially in a service-driven environment, we have to upskill. We have to improve the skills of the people currently employed. And then, for those who are still unemployed or outside the labor force or frictionally or seasonally unemployed, we have to bring them into the labor force, but at a higher level of productivity. And so we acknowledge the new dispensation in which the Jamaican economy is operating. You know, we moved from having double-digit unemployment a decade ago to now very low single-digit unemployment. And the strategy of the government is now to pivot into ensuring that labor does not become a constraint for growth. And that takes a different set of policies. So we are very much forward-leaning in providing support to businesses for the upskilling of their existing labor force, in providing really attractive incentives for persons who are not in the labor force to become a part of the labor force by acquiring skills. And there is a great push by some businesses to allow the structured, I hate to use the term importation of labor, but a structured program in which local businesses can have access to a global labor pool. This is something that is obviously very controversial. But as our economy grows, and as it gets stronger, and as the skills required to support the businesses become more complex and high-tech, it may very well have to be a consideration. But as at this point, the strategy and policy of the Jamaican government is to empower our local labor force. At this point, it is to improve the productivity of the local Jamaican worker. At this point, it is to support our businesses to develop higher paying jobs, jobs that are focused on higher level services, and therefore to remove any underemployment that may exist in our economy. Eventually, like all developed countries, when your economy is strong and you require labor and skills that may not be available locally, then you participate in the global labor pool. But as of now, we still have a lot of work to do with our local labor. We have a lot of investments to make in our local people, and that is where the effort and focus of the government is. We have said, however, that as the global arrangements change and we have a significant diaspora overseas, there are as many Jamaicans living overseas as living here, that if they want to come back home, if they choose to make Jamaica the place for their economic pursuits, then we encourage them, we embrace them, and we want them to come back with the skills that they have developed elsewhere. So I want to be clear to the entire Jamaica about our strategy. Jamaica is in a good place as it relates to employment. The economy is doing well. It is creating employment for our people. But the level of employment would not be sufficient to generate the level of growth that we would want. And therefore, in addition to the fiscal support and stability that we give, we must now give even greater support to the development of our human resources to create a steady skill stream to support the development of businesses, particularly global services. And so I want to give the current investors and the investors who are here looking at this jurisdiction the assurance that in the government of Jamaica, you have a strong partner in ensuring that you have the labor force for your business to continue to grow from strength to strength.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness, break time. Back with more after these.
Give up every illegal gun. Call the police at 119 or Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Ministry of National Security is...
It's 7:30.
Fix up with Fleetwood products for your home improvement, personal care, and aromatherapy needs. They have your well-being in mind. Available at retailers island-wide. The temperature by Fleetwood Jamaica is...
It's 25 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 26 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, and 20 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
Hiring is tough. You spend weeks, maybe months searching but still can't find the right fit. And even when you do, onboarding, payroll, and benefits become another headache. Stop wasting time. Let TalentBox Caribbean do the work at a fraction of the cost. From sourcing to interviewing, we do it all. Don't settle for the wrong hire. Schedule your strategy call today. Call 876-960-0066 or visit www.talentboxcaribbean.com. TalentBox Caribbean, connection made easy.
Yo, my boss.
Yo,
my general. Yo, my king. The new BK Mega Stacker. Come for run everything. Choose your style. Double, triple, or quad stack. Juicy grilled beef. Plus crispy bacon, some starkerific sauce, and layers of melted cheese. So if you think you can angle it, satisfy yourself today. Order the BK Mega Stacker and have it your way. The new BK Mega Stacker. Built for satisfaction. Limited time. Only at Burger King.
We're back with you. Of course, we were hearing from the Prime Minister, Dr. Andrew Holness, who was talking at the Outsource to Jamaica, the opening, the 2025 Outsource to Jamaica Conference in Montego Bay on Thursday. Dr. Holness also says the government is committed to seizing opportunities presented by digital transformation. He noted that a new Information and Communications Technology ICT authority has been established and will become operational at the start of the upcoming fiscal year.
We are now squarely in the fourth industrial revolution. This is an era defined by the convergence of physical, digital, and biological systems. It is a world of artificial intelligence, quantum computing, robotics, and the Internet of Things, and a cloud-based ecosystem. It is an era of great threats, but it is also an era of unbounded opportunities. In Jamaica, our choice is clear. We will embrace the opportunities that is presented through digital transformation. Digital transformation is not only central to improving productivity and the ease of doing business, it is in itself the fastest growing industry globally. For Jamaica, it represents more than an economic opportunity. It is the foundation of a modern, inclusive society and a key pillar for our growth agenda. Our vision is to build a digital society, one where individuals and businesses can thrive in a tech-driven economy, where innovation is democratized and where government services are seamless, efficient, and accessible to all. To that end, we are building out the three core enablers of a digital society: institution, infrastructure, and identity. To drive this transition, we have established a new Information and Communications Technology Authority, which will take effect at the start of the new fiscal year. This body will absorb and build on the work of eGov Jamaica Limited and will provide the unified digital backbone required to support the entire public sector. So we will have an ICT authority which will ensure that government agencies are equipped with the modern ICT services, tools, and support systems needed to deliver high-quality digital services to citizens. It represents the institutional modernization we need to support a truly digital economy. We also appointed a national AI task force to advise on the national strategy to enable Jamaica to benefit from the vast opportunities as well as to mitigate the risks presented by artificial intelligence. And no, artificial intelligence did not write my speech. We are here in the process of ensuring that artificial intelligence is integrated and properly used in ethical ways to improve our productivity and efficiency of our labor force and our businesses. Now, just as roads and highways enable movement in the physical economy, digital highways are essential to the flow of information in the digital economy. And that is why we are aggressively expanding our national broadband network and our GovNet infrastructure to ensure high-speed, reliable connectivity across the island. To date, we have connected 702 schools, 145 ministries, departments, and agencies, and 43 other government offices. And in the coming year, we will connect an additional 224 institutions, including more schools, courthouses, and rural service centers. This is not just about access, it is about inclusion. And we are ensuring that every Jamaican, regardless of where they live, can participate in the digital society. Connectivity alone is not enough. We also need secure, reliable systems of identification and authentication. And that is why I'm proud to share that after more than 50 years of debate and delay, Jamaica has its first electronic national identification system, and last year we started issuing our first national electronic identification cards. And this is a landmark achievement.
That was Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness speaking at the conference in Montego Bay, the 2025 Outsource to Jamaica conference.
It's not done. I think there is a bit more there that Michelle would have put in. So this one now has the Prime Minister talking about the government's significant investments in the logistics outsourcing sector. This is particularly important because of the work to put on stream the Caymanas Special Economic Zone, for which he says ground should be broken within the first quarter of this new fiscal year.
In our drive to diversify Jamaica's global services industry, one of the most exciting frontiers is logistics outsourcing. For decades, we have spoken about Jamaica's potential to become the logistics hub of the Americas. Today, I can say with confidence, we are no longer imagining the future, we are building it. Jamaica's strategic location at the crossroads of north-south and east-west shipping lanes, paired with world-class port infrastructure, gives us a natural competitive edge. We are leveraging this advantage not only to boost trade, but to create new global services opportunities in supply chain management, logistics BPO, inventory control, and freight forwarding services. And today I want to demonstrate the tangible progress that we have made. At the heart of our logistics vision is the Port of Kingston. The Port of Kingston is now globally ranked among the top 100 ports in the world. Since 2016, under a 30-year concession agreement with the Kingston Freeport Terminal Limited and over $400 million of investment with advanced geopositioning technology, new cranes, and upgraded infrastructure, we have increased cargo volumes in our ports by over 50%. We have increased employment by over 53%. And in 2025, an additional $50 million will be invested to further expand the equipment and capacity of the port. And beyond the port itself, we are laying the foundation for transformational growth through the Caymanas Special Economic Zone, a 700-acre site located near the Port of Kingston and key highways. For those of you who would have attended this event previously, I'm sure you would have heard us talk about the Caymanas Special Economic Zone. In fact, this has been talked about now for 3 past administrations. So many years we have talked about doing it. Well, as the builder, we're going to do it. And I'm pleased to say that we have now completed
the engineering designs for the Special Economic Zone. The tender process for the first phase of the land preparation is finalized, and all required approvals are in place. Groundbreaking is scheduled for the first quarter of this fiscal year. So I would say that in another 2 months, we should be able to break ground on the site. The site is being prepared to mitigate against climate change risks such as flooding, and will be equipped with modern infrastructure, utilities, direct, and I want to emphasize this, we're not just going to be building a special economic zone. We're also going to create a direct link from the site to the port itself. So this is going to create within itself a true near port special economic zone. There is in fact a pre-existing rail line which we intend to rehabilitate, and so whatever activities, light manufacturing, assembly, whatever is done within this special economic zone will have direct access to the port of Kingston. So it will be probably the most sought after near port service facility in the region when it is complete. Now, this port expansion is a stepping stone towards logistic-led infrastructure and industrial development in the region. It is about positioning Jamaica as a regional hub for warehousing, distribution, e-commerce fulfillment, contract manufacturing, and supply chains analytics. And in this new world of
That's the Prime Minister, Andrew Holness. Break time, back with more after these.
Burnshack fried chicken always ready. Burnshack original crispy. Burnshack Cajun spicy. Burnshack a barbecue. Burnshack we are go a Burnshack.
The time brought to you by Burchak Fried Chicken in Kingston, Montego Bay, and Ocho Rios is...
It's 7:45.
At Hawkeye, our mission is to deliver cutting-edge security solutions to help you keep track of the things you value most.
The temperature by Hawkeye is...
It's 25 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 26 degrees Celsius out west in Montego Bay, and 20 degrees Celsius in the cool hills of Mandeville.
Don't fall victim to deepfakes.
Watch out.
Protect yourself.
How are this
For
on
more
my TV?
information, visit broadcastingcommission.org or
Here ya,
scan
baby.
the QR code on screen.
Deepfake. No deepfake can't catch me.
Junior, you know say AI can make something will look and sound just like you? One day Junior get a voice note from her granny. Say the food done, the medication done, and she need money urgently.
Need money urgently? But Miss Pat no like ask people for things.
And as so comes Judy get suspicious.
So what she do?
She asks the neighbor to go check pan her. Junior, the lady quite alright over there make her Sunday dinner.
So the voice note a deepfake?
Yes, my love. Come, your food ready.
Right now it look like we have to outsmart the AI. But wait, I really want dege dumpling here, give me.
Me I wonder if AI can make one deep fake dumpling for you.
To learn more about deepfakes, visit www.broadcastingcommission.org.
More savings, more choices. Get active with Active Home Center. The one-stop shop for everything for your home. We have more savings, more choices, unbelievable prices. Wide selection with the latest style. The kitchen, bathroom, right down to the tile. Buy the hottest items on spot, don't miss out. Best options under one roof, no doubt. More savings, more choices.
Visit us in store or online at www.activehomecenter.com.
We have more savings, more choices.
Jamaica. Get your tickets now for Arise 2025, the music celebration, and join the gathering with the Hoppers, Gospel Proclaimers, Rhoda Isabella, Carey Sales, and others at the National Arena, Easter Sunday, April 20 at 5 p.m. Group of 15, 6,000 per person. General 6,500 and VIP 9,500. Available at Source of Light Music Mart, SpurOpen.com/Arise 2025. Bring the family as we celebrate with the Hoppers. One awesome evening.
(7:48), the Jamaica Youth Advocacy Network, JAN, welcomes the recent announcement by the Minister of Education, Skills and Information, Dana Morris Dixon, that Cabinet has approved the long-awaited School Nutrition Policy, the SNP. Speaking on Wednesday at the post-Cabinet media briefing, Minister Morris Dixon says the policy will be tabled in the House as a white paper. JAN, which has been advocating for the policy for several years, sees this as a major milestone for youth health and well-being, but emphasizes the journey is far from over.
We're joined by Executive Director of Jamaica Youth Advocacy Network, JYAN, Shanique Bowden. Good morning, Shanique.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about the advocacy that you've been doing for years and how exactly you feel about the minister's pronouncement that the policy has now been approved.
Years is right in terms of the emphasis. So this has been happening at least on JAN's end for quite a while now. We formally started doing this work in March 2021 as part of a global project to have more healthy food policies implemented in schools and particularly within the Caribbean context. And we came into the work as a sort of opportunity to bridge the youth divide around the advocacy for school nutrition policies. So our partners, Heart Foundation of Jamaica, we're doing it for even much longer than we were. So one of the first things that we realized when we started is that, the whispers of the school nutrition policy dated back as early as, January 2019. So this has really been a very long time coming. And when we started, most of our focus in terms of our advocacy was on getting young people interested, involved in the process, let them be aware of, the idea of what this policy could look like. Because even then when we started, there wasn't a green paper. There wasn't any document for us to reference to be guided by. So we were just, going off what we think this policy should look like. We developed a position paper, which I think had 11 or 12 recommendations, many of which were reflected in the green paper document when it was finally produced in May 2022. And one of our cornerstone or highlight moments was the youth consultation, which would have happened in September 2022. So in partnership with UNICEF Jamaica, we did a U-Report poll which showed overwhelming support by young people from the policy. Over 95% of them calling for the finalization of the policy, calling for different elements of the policy to be implemented, more physical activity, more nutrition counseling, more access to healthy food in their schools. And we were just very happy at that time to see that movement, to see the green paper, to see the young people being involved by the committee in the process. And then we kind of were waiting for a very long time. So since September 2022, it's been a long time of waiting. So the news that came out on Wednesday morning in the post-cabinet press briefing was a very happy, exciting news for us. And we're just really anticipating now a quick finish. We hope that there isn't any more significant delay in getting this to the Parliament for the final approvals, so that we can see implementation starting as early as the next school year in September.
Okay, so what recommendations did JAN and probably other partners have based on what would have been found by you in 2021 as it relates to a policy that would have been in the crafting stage? What recommendations did you have to improve upon that and to ensure that it got to this point?
Okay, so I think so. Our most substantive recommendations were really around looking at limiting, if not completely eliminating, the presence of ultra-processed products in schools. So, as you probably are aware, the school nutrition policy touches on that as one of its core focuses, and that's one of our main recommendations that we've been pushing, that we want the school environment, and the policy speaks to the school environment being the physical school itself, as well as a 200-meter radius around the school, to be very limited, or if not completely eliminated, of ultra-processed products, which include those high salt and sugary snacks and beverages. We also were looking at an increase in ensuring that there's an influx of fresh fruits and vegetables in the school, so our children have more access to those sorts of nutrient-rich foods and items. And the policy also would have mirrored that by calling on more support from local farming communities to ensure that their produce are being channeled into the schools. There's an emphasis on ensuring that school gardens, where those schools are fitted to have gardens, are implemented so that schools can now produce their own food, essentially. And there's a less reliance on purchasing the ultra-processed foods and bringing them into the schools. We also were looking at, complementing nutrition and healthy eating with an active lifestyle. So one of the things when we started doing our work, we do these things called health chats in partnership with NIST of Jamaica, where we're going into the schools and we're talking to them about the policy. And one of the things that we quickly realized, that it was the case when I was in high school, you stop doing physical education at grade 9. Once you reach CSEC level, it's just work. There's no PE unless you're doing PE as like a subject. And one of the things that the policy that we really like addresses is that they're eliminating that. All the way from kindergarten to grade 13, there's at least 1 hour physical activity, which is a very major step in ensuring that everyone has a minimum access to regular movements throughout the day. Throughout the week, they're also encouraging mini breaks in between sessions where they're doing light stretching, light movements, because we find that our children generally have been living a very sedentary lifestyle, which was even more enhanced, unfortunately, during the COVID pandemic when they were at home behind their computers on Zoom lessons. And so that's something that definitely needs to address. So a complementary approach to an healthy lifestyle, which includes eating and eating healthy as well as movement. And I think one of our other major thing that we were also including in our list of recommendations was the inclusion of because we want to eliminate sugar-sweetened beverages in the schools, and we already have a ban on that, and we want children to be drinking more water, that ensuring that schools are retrofitted in a way to provide free potable water for children. So whether that's water coolers or water stations in schools, so that children are less likely to want to buy the sugar-sweetened beverages because they have access to free water on their school compounds.
How healthy are Jamaican children relative to their counterparts in CARICOM?
That's a very interesting question. I think it's, I'm not a nutritionist, and if we had our partners from CARE here, I think they would be able to give you a more interesting response to that. But what we've been finding from the surveys that are coming out, and I think the last major survey was back in 2017, the Global Health School Survey thereabouts, we were finding that there's a increase in overweight between boys and girls aged 13 to 17, and that there's also more boys and girls presenting with obesity levels. And we don't really know what that may look like now, especially in a post-COVID pandemic country or timeline, because we recognize as well that some of the things that we were hearing anecdotally during that time would have been very interesting from when students were in school full time. So we would have done some focus group sessions with students when we just started our project, and that was in the height of the pandemic in 2021. And many of them were sharing, when they were at school, because we were in and out of school for a while with the pandemic. When they were at school, many canteens closed down, so they only had access to snacks, patties, cinnamon rolls, bun and cheese, dry food for lunch. There wasn't many schools that were operating their canteen at full capacity, which would have eliminated, some access to more rounded meals like chicken, whatever vegetables, rice, those sort of things. And so it's very interesting to kind of understand what, the numbers may look like now, but what the general sentiment is that, obesity rates have been on the rise. I think they've doubled in boys and almost 50% in girls, or maybe the reverse, as well as there is a general more presenting of young people, even if not even children, but young adults, presenting with early signs of different non-communicable diseases like hypertension, diabetes, heart issues, etc., which contributing factors include, their diet. And what we're also recognizing is that, of course, what you eat as a child, if you continue to eat that into adulthood, that would have detrimental effects.
Tell me this thing, though. You do realize that the scale of the task ahead of your group, it's enormous, and well-meaning and people who are trying to do the right thing. And here's why I say that. A lot of school-aged activity, the school competitions, whether it's a chess competition, golf, of course, champs, schoolboy football, schoolboy netball, and schoolgirl football, and netball, of course, all the girls play that at school. You're talking about school-age cricket and all of those things. These competitions are in the main sponsored by the companies who sell the ultra-processed foods that you would want students to not have access to. And I am certain that they won't sit on the sidelines and watch advocacy squeeze them out of the space. You anticipate that this is something that you'll have to conquer in the mission to achieve what you want, eh?
Yes. I mean, that is definitely, I think, one of our greatest hurdles and something that we've been grappling with for since the beginning of this work back in March 2021. There is a certain realization that, our industry counterparts do some beneficial work for children. Like you just mentioned, many of these competitions, not even just sports, but like even academic competitions, like debating and those sort of things, have happened or are likely to happen because of their support. Many of our schools have computer labs because of their support, have libraries because of their support, have fridge in their canteen because of their support, And so it's really hard to sort of reconcile that. But I think one of the things that we are just sort of steadfast in maintaining is that there needs to be a balance. We can't give $1 million towards sporting activities and then at the same sporting activities we are fueling our children or fueling very loosely, we're using very loosely there, our children with high sugar content products and high salty products and things that are ultimately very detrimental to their health. And so even within the spaces that we are advocating, one of the things that keep coming up are, how are we looking to advocate for the reformulation of different products to ensure that they can be within the threshold of what is, minimally required for the growth and development of our children. Or the average Jamaican child or the average child rather shouldn't be added more than 24 grams of added sugar per day. We already get sugar from, fruits and our food when it breaks down. But the average drink that, is being sold in most of our schools will have at least 30 grams, 32
and
grams.
that killer part which says added sugar. That's the real killer. Shanique, unfortunately, we're out of time. We're gonna have to pick up the conversation again, and then that big hurdle that you concede, I'm sure we'll have to be talking about that again. How you get around that because of the huge investment these brands put into school activities, and they're the ones who you say, boy, providing the things that children shouldn't be consuming so much of, eh? Yeah, man.
But I mean, just very quickly, we're just very happy about this progress that we're seeing, and we're looking forward to continue working with the ministry to bring this to the final hurdle so we can focus on the real needs, which is implementing the policy.
All right. Thank you this morning. Shanique Bowden, Executive Director of JAN, that's the Jamaica Youth Advocacy Network. Across Jamaica comes up now. Front Page was brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales. For a better choice in the electrical business.
Coconut Industry Board is celebrating 80 years of serving Jamaica's coconut farmers. The Coconut Industry Board, seeding for the future. The time brought to you by the Coconut Industry Board is...
It's 8:02.
Success, powered by learning. The temperature, brought to you by Sandals Corporate University. Come grow with us is...
It's 25 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 26 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, and it's 20 degrees Celsius in the cool hills of Mandeville.
From the mountainside to seaside, countryside to townside, inside and outside, it's across Jamaica this morning.
Taking you across Jamaica this Friday morning, I'm Tona Thomas. Titchfield High School in Portland is encouraging members of the school community to wear yellow and blue on Monday as part of the formal celebration of its victory in the 2025 TVJ Schools Challenge Quiz Competition. Titchfield defeated Jamaica College on Tuesday, April 8, with a score of 26-23. This is the second time the school is winning the title, having also carved the top spot in 2016. It's understood the festivities will include a motorcade through Port Antonio. Portland MPs Darrell Vaz and Anne-Marie Vaz, as well as Custis Lincoln Thaxter, are expected to participate in the celebration. The formal celebration was set to get underway Friday morning. It was pushed back because of a high-level tour involving the MPs and the Commissioner of Police. National Gallery West is set to open the third staging of its highly anticipated juried exhibition, Due West, this Sunday, April 13. The event will be hosted at Montego Bay Cultural Center, Sam Sharp Square, Montego Bay, starting at 2 p.m. Due West was first launched in 2018. The exhibition forms part of the gallery's ongoing mission to celebrate and elevate the vibrant cultural expressions of Western Jamaica. It showcases emerging and established artists who are from or strongly connected to the western region of the island. 17 artists have been selected for the 2025 edition. They will display contemporary art using an array of media, including painting, drawing, animation, ceramics, photography, textiles, and mixed media. The exhibition period runs from April 13 to August 9. Among the prizes to be won are the People's Choice Award, a cash prize of $250,000 for the artist with the most public votes. Major Organized Crime and Anti-Corruption Agency, MOCA, has received international recognition for its contribution to global law enforcement. The agency was presented with the President's Award by the International Association of Law Enforcement Intelligence Analysts in Vancouver, Canada, this week. It was recognized as one of the world's leading organizations promoting professionalism in intelligence analysis. The award was presented to Director General Colonel Desmond Edwards. MOCA says the award comes at a meaningful time as it celebrates a decade in the fight against organized crime and corruption. And that's it for Across Jamaica for this Friday morning. I'm Tona Thomas.
JANAC Global Accreditation, promoting consumer confidence, facilitating market access through internationally accepted accreditation and training services. Accreditation, your visa for global access. Accredited once, accepted everywhere. Call JANAC Global Accreditation at 876-968-7790 or visit our website at www.janac.gov.jm.
Corian Solid Surface, so versatile and beautiful. It's non-porous, no sealing necessary, renewable and repairable, so easy to clean and maintain, and can be thermoformed into any shape. Choose Corian, the #1 solid surface in the world, when you want beauty and the best for your countertop. Visit Home International Limited, located at 104 Constance Ring Road. Telephone 755-1970
or 276-6448.
Come into the parlor, there's a welcome there for you. Welcome to the Mayor's Parlor with Desmond McKenzie.
From 1 to 6 p.m. every Sunday, you'll now get more of your favorite vintage music.
Put your head on my shoulder.
Nationwide 90 FM will transform your Sunday into a musical time machine that will take you way back.
Come with me. Let's go back in time.
This magic moment.
Journey into yesteryear with Desmond McKenzie in the Mayor's Parlor.
I've got the music to jog your memory and make you smile.
Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the best in vintage music.
Come into the Mayor's Parlor every Sunday between 1 and 6 p.m. here on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
This is a public advisory. On Sunday, April 13, 2025, the Mayor's Parlor will start at 12:30 and end at 6 p.m. We do apologize for any inconvenience caused.
Tune in to Cliff Hughes Online on April 16 from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. as we broadcast the groundbreaking ceremony for the Raintree Commercial Development. Raintree Commercial Complex aligns with UDC's goal of developing urban spaces. On 108 acres at Block 1, it will offer commercial and light industrial opportunities, creating 2,000 short-term and 5,000 long-term jobs, benefiting the Caymanas community. So tune in to Cliff Hughes Online on April 16 from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. for this groundbreaking activity. It's the groundbreaking ceremony for the Raintree Commercial Development. Also catch the live stream on Nationwide's YouTube channel at Nationwide Live 2. All this and more only on Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by the Urban Development Corporation.
$809 Jamaica's one-time area code. Was that in the early 90s, King? 809 was our area code. Yeah, 809 before 876. It was 809, yeah. 809, yeah. With a growing demand for Jamaican goods and services in untraditional markets, the opportunities for exporting have never been greater than it is today for local companies. Becoming export ready requires a meticulous assessment of business capacity. Today, on Jam Pro Connect, our weekly feature, the manager, export facilitation at Jampro, Delane Morgan, joins me for a discussion on how to get ready for export, important factors to keep in mind. Good morning, Delane.
Good morning, George. How are you?
It is well with me. Is it well with you?
I am very well, thank you.
Excellent. Right. So, let me start it this way. There are many companies that I'm sure are doing good business, offering good products or even good services. And they said to themselves that, boy, yeah, I'd like to be involved in export, but I'm too small and export is for big companies and I could never even approach that because I'm not of the scale of the companies that I imagine are in the export business. Are they misguided? Are they wrong?
They are definitely misguided because there are opportunities both for small companies as well as our large exporters. The market is tremendous, and small companies can carve out their niche in these markets to export their products. So
right.
That is a misconception.
Excellent start. All right. So this morning, you're not talking to those who are already in the export business and who are old hands at maneuvering these spaces. You're talking to those who are contemplating a decision. So what are some of the key steps for these companies to becoming export ready, export capable?
Okay, so let me start by saying that in order to become export ready, or becoming export ready means preparing your business to sell products in foreign markets. And as you said, there are some key important factors to consider to ensure a successful export process. And in the interest of time, George, I will just highlight 3 must-do actions as part of the process in becoming export ready. So number 1 on the list is the need to assess your target market by carrying out the necessary market research. And this should include identifying which markets are most suitable for your products as well as the potential demand. assessing consumer behavior and preferences, including any emerging trends. And just to give an example, George, you will find that consumers in the European Union, the EU, and the USA have distinct preferences, where EU consumers prefer organic, sustainable, and authentic products, while USA consumers have a growing demand for convenience and healthy options. So it's really important to assess the consumer preferences and behavior in your target markets. The market research should also assess the competitive landscape in the target market to know who your competitors are and how your product compares. You will also need, importantly, to identify the potential barriers to entry as well as the specific market requirements to be satisfied, as products must meet the health, safety, and quality standards of the intended market. And this includes, satisfying the relevant food safety regulations in the case of food products. And of course, you'll need to look at the most appropriate distribution channels for your products, as well as the various shipping routes and the related costs. The second key thing, George, is that prospective exporters will need to do an assessment of their internal capacity and supply chain to determine whether they would be able to meet market demand consistently.
Yes.
And this would include having access to raw materials on a consistent basis so as to sustain production. As part of this process also, they would need to determine whether they would be able to adapt products to not only ensure product differentiation and uniqueness, but to meet market entry requirements as well. And this may require that they would need to adjust their packaging and labeling to conform with these market requirements. And just to say that as an exporter, your labels need to be clear, they need to be accurate, and comply with the importing country's language and contents rules. For example, you might have some markets which require that your labels should be in more than one language. As part of the company assessment as well, you will also need to ensure that your production operation will be compliant with the regulations of the importing country, and that they will be able to acquire the necessary permits, license, and certifications to allow products to enter the market. And on this point, we encourage all of our export clients to always consult with their buyers in the destination market to provide details on the specific requirements and documentation that is required by the importing country. So once you have done your market research and you've done your internal assessment, the third step in the process is to develop an export plan with key actions and timelines. And this is essentially your roadmap to getting your products to market. And just to say quickly that your plan should outline, among other things, your overall exporting objectives, the structure and operations of your business. You should also have a clear description of the products to be exported and their unique and key selling features, including details of product adaptation. You should also include an overview of the target market based on the market research that was done. And this should also highlight any trade agreements that are in place between Jamaica and our trading partners, because companies stand to benefit from duty and tax exemptions under these agreements, and it's important to ensure that your goods land in these target markets as competitively as possible. Your plan should also include your market entry strategy and the appropriate distribution channels, your promotional and sales strategy. It should also look at logistics arrangements to getting your products to the market in a timely manner.
Yes.
The regulatory requirements, and of course, your plan should address the financial considerations, which should look at things like your pricing strategy, the required financial resources to fund your export business, as well as the source of these funds. So these are the three must-do actions that we recommend to companies as part of the process of becoming export-ready.
And how much hand-holding, Delane, does JAMPRO extend in this process, which for, again, people who are just becoming initiated with this overall process might be intimidated by the various steps that need to be taken on and are daunted because they don't know where to turn for the kind of information that you say are prerequisites for this journey. How much hand-holding is extended by JAMPRO?
Okay, so JAMPRO does a lot of hand-holding, and more importantly, JAMPRO has access to a number of resources and tools which are available to prospective exporters to assist them in conducting the market research that I spoke about, to assist them in doing their enterprise assessments and their export planning. And we really invite our aspiring exporters out there to contact us at JAMPRO to access these resources. We also encourage our prospective exporters to participate in our exporter readiness assessment process, which is a self-assessment diagnostic tool that assists in evaluating a company's capacity to export and the related gaps. So it examines areas such as your production capability, compliance with international standards, your marketing strategies, and financial readiness. Just to say as well that the tool also highlights the strengths and weaknesses as it relates to the export potential of a business. So, for example, a company might have a strong product but lack proper packaging for international markets, or have limited knowledge of exporting procedures, which are gaps they would need to address, and we will assist them in terms of how to go about addressing those gaps. This tool is available on our website at dobusinessjamaica.com, and once completed, our team will provide feedback on how the gaps can be addressed, along with any action plan to close those gaps.
Yeah. You gave me a short list of 3 things that must be done. So let me ask you then for a short list, perhaps 3 points, pitfalls to avoid, things that people are liable to fall victim to or likely to be to find as obstacles in their path. But these 3 things you should look to avoid them in this formative stage as you establish yourself. What are those 3 of those things?
The first thing I would say, George, is, and this is a common mistake made by some of our exporters, is not knowing the applicable regulatory requirements in Jamaica and in the destination market for the products to be exported. We always advise our export clients that it is critical to determine in advance the regulatory issues to be addressed in Jamaica as well as in the importing country. And in addition, they should take the time to do, the necessary due diligence to see what permits, license, certifications are required to access those markets. And it's important to note, George, that if you fail to comply with these market requirements, you stand to have your products being returned to Jamaica or seized by the customs authorities in the importing country. And, you're liable to pay fines and penalties. So it is very important to comply with these regulations.
Excellent. Another one?
Another one, quickly, is not adapting your products to take into consideration the cultural nuances and local tastes of your target market. Very important. It's important to understand these market nuances, as your product may end up in the wrong aisle of a supermarket or store. So let me give you an example quickly. The product rose water, which is used in Jamaica for baking, is labeled as a food, and is typically found in supermarkets. But in Trinidad, rose water is identified as an astringent for cosmetic purposes, and it's usually sold in pharmacies. So it's really important to understand these market nuances.
Absolutely so. Very important. Delane, my producer, says that's all the time I have. Yeah, you're so well spoken and articulate. We could continue. But thank you for stopping by this morning. And I'm certain that those who have an interest in exporting, have a business, will have at least gotten the guidance as to what Jampro can help them to do with their businesses if they just take the bold step of joining the ranks of companies who export goods and services.
And I encourage them to call us at Jampro or send us an email at info@dobusinessjamaica.com, and we will be there to support and assist.
And call Jampro and ask for Delane Morgan. She's the manager exporter facilitation at Jampro, right? They can ask for you, of course.
They can ask for me, George.
Excellent. Thank you this morning. All the best to you.
And thank you for having me.
You're welcome. All right. That's it for the Jampro Connect Business and Opportunities.
Apply for your NHD refunds at nhd.gov.jm or via the NHD app. Do not click on any links offering to help you. The time by the NHD is
8:22.
Fontana Pharmacy has a wide variety of items from pharmaceuticals, household, cosmetics, toys, and more. The temperature by Fontana Pharmacy. It's all good inside is
25 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 27 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 22 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
Back with It's Nationwide this morning, and we have been doing something over the past couple of weeks. We have been interviewing the pitch winners for the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, their MSME Business Roadshow, and we've been going about talking to these winners, finding out, what would have inspired their business ideas, seeing what would have been happening to them and how they feel about this roadshow. So we would have provided an opportunity for micro and small businesses to get exposure and to let them hear to you why they entered this competition. For those who don't know, they were pitching to win a cash grant of $400,000 for small business owners and $200,000 for micro business owners. Participants are allotted 5 minutes to pitch their ideas to a panel of judges and a live audience for a chance to win the cash prize. There are 10 winners, 5 from each category, that is small business and of course micro business owners. Now we're joined for the final interview in our series, and we're joined by the managing director of MVM Cuisine, Moyen Martin, who is the small business pitch winner, and the acting senior director for the MSME division at the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Mr. Dwayne Haynes. This name seems slightly familiar. Good morning, Dwayne. Good morning, Moyen.
Good morning.
Hi. Good morning, Sandre. Good morning, Moyen. Good morning, listeners.
Good morning, sir.
It's good to have you on this morning. But Moyen, I'm starting with you because Dwayne is already a superstar. So tell us about your business and tell us exactly what your business does or what problem it solves, and let us know a little bit more about what you do.
All right, good morning again, and thanks for having me. MVM Cuisine is a restaurant and catering business. We are currently located on one of the Hart School premises, where we supply mainly the students at the school.
Mm-hmm.
But besides from that, outside, we do catering for weddings, baby showers, funerals, anything you want, we can provide the service.
to you.
Okay. So what inspired you to do this business, and what challenges or what opportunities allowed you to get to this point?
All right. So I started, the business was conceptualized in 2016. And so I used to create content mostly and put it on Instagram. And there was always this burning desire for me to, cater more to the world or provide my food services to a wider audience. So I started going to school. Actually, I went to Heart for it. For culinary arts, and after that I just decided to just get into the small business and start growing from there. I believe that conducting business help persons to explore different meal options. So like for me, I not only cook the regular chicken and rice and everything. If you have a dietary problem, I can work with you to care for that. So if you're a vegan, plant-based, anything diabetic, I can tailor my meals to you for a better life.
I'm going over to Dwayne now. Mr. Haynes, you're acting senior director in charge of MSMEs, and you would have now overseen this MSME business roadshow, big position for a superstar like you, Dwayne. I want to understand what was the thought process in having these pitch competitions for these businesses, and how do you see it benefiting those who would have received these grants towards their businesses?
Thanks for that question, Sandre. So the ministry wanted to offer much more to SMEs than just our services. We wanted to offer them tangible benefits to help them to expand, help them to grow, help them to acquire much needed capital injection to purchase equipment or whatever it is that they need to improve their business and to possibly hire more persons. So we saw it as being necessary to include business pitch competition and include the grant component, to not just give them the certificates, but to give them something that will actually help them to grow their business.
All right, Dwayne, so the grants of 400 and 200,000 on the line, what criteria did the judges use to evaluate and select all the winners for the competitions?
So the criteria was quite simple. You must be in business for at least a year. You must be Jamaican registered business. You should not be earning no more than 15 million annually. And you should be export ready in whatever product or service that your business offers.
You heard me, Dwayne? Repeat that one, Dwayne.
I was saying that the criteria is quite simple. You must be in business for at least a year. You must be a Jamaican registered company. You must be earning no more than 15 million annually, and you must be export ready in whatever product or service that your business offers.
So how long would the business have to be registered for?
Must be in business for a year.
A year, so a full year. So if you're a startup, you can't enter this competition?
No.
Okay.
But the ministry, never fear, the ministry is currently exploring the feasibility of us having other initiatives, other competitions that could assist startups. So I'm sure that you'll hear more about that later in the year.
Yeah, that would be really good, seeing where our economic position is, especially for those persons who want to start a business and are wondering, how do we start? How do we make the first move? But I'm going to go back to Moyan to tell me, how does it feel to be recognized among the winners of the MSME Business Roadshow Pitch Competition?
Listen, I'm still elated. Like, there were so much hurdles for me. Mr. Haynes can attest to that. But I am so happy and overjoyed. Till this day, I still can't believe that I was actually selected to be among one of those winners, You know, it means so much to me that I can put the money to good use in my business, you know, by purchasing some equipment that was really needed for me. So I'm still overjoyed, to be honest.
All right, hold it for me there, Moya, and hold it for me, Dwayne. We're going to take a quick break and then we'll come back with more.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is...
It's 8:31.
Skillset Talent Solutions offers marketing, accounting, business registration, logo creation, tax filing, background checks, and recruiting services. Call them at 876-559-3212. The temperature by Skillset Talent Solutions is
25 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 27 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 22 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
Horton's RX, the caring pharmacy. The Yes We Can pharmacy. The Yes It's in stock pharmacy. The house call delivery pharmacy. The RX Pack mobile app pharmacy. The RX Plus digital wallet pharmacy. The 20% reward pharmacy. The easy to remember number pharmacy. 876-RX0RXRX. The easy access 24/7 pharmacy. Horton's RX, the convenient pharmacy. Hashtag wellness, hashtag simply delivered.
Revamp your space with unique living, sleek fixed and sliding shower panels, shower systems and faucets, stylish vanities, LED and non-LED mirrors, basins and kitchen sinks, closet and storage solutions, hanging aids, and more. Available in different finishes and sizes to match your style. Transform your space and visit us today at shop number 6, 30 Dunrobin Avenue, Kingston 10. Call us at 876-755-3661 or visit our website at uniquelivingja.com to shop.
We're back with you, of course. We're joined here by Moyen Martin, small business pitch winner and the managing director of MVM Cuisine and acting senior director for MSME Division, Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Mr. Dwayne Haynes. So, Moyen, I'm back with you. I'm going to say, beyond the prize, what else did you gain from participating in this pitch competition and the entire road show?
Okay, so I was able to see other budding entrepreneurs, you know, speak to them, see what their concerns were in business, and also, you know, just listen to what everybody was presenting. It was such an amazing experience to know that I myself is a business person, a young business person, and to know that I can see other persons who are trying to make it. It's just an amazing experience.
Indeed, indeed. Dwayne, can you share examples of, you know, what you'd have heard from the listing of those who would have entered the competition, examples of what they intend to use the grants for and how you see that impacting the wider economy?
So, Sandre, I'm going to give you an example of actual, tangible, real outcomes emanating from phase 1 of the roadshow, which took place in 2024 and 2023. Hubmark, who would have won the pitch competition in 2023, said that as a result of receiving this grant, they were able to automate their back-end operation, which has saved them over 60 hours of manual work monthly. They have also seen a 80% increase in their revenue and customer base just from the exposure that the ministry would have given them as a result of them winning the pitch competition. Mm-hmm. So we give them exposure via our social media. We put them on various interview platforms, such as radio, TV, etc., to get them more exposure so more persons know about their business. We also created what is called a catalog, which has their contact information and so forth, and we would have shared it with other larger players within the market so that they know more about these business, these MSMEs. Culture Jamaica, Culture JA Organics would have seen a 30% growth in their sales, and they have also expanded their customer base as a result of winning the pitch competition, they also launched a new product line which is focused on his and her care, and they have seen a 40% increase in sales as a result of them launching their new e-commerce platform, which they use the pitch competition funding to do.
Oh, okay, that's good. I'm going to Moyen for my final question from her. What advice would you give to entrepreneurs who they've heard about this business roadshow, they've heard about your business, heard about the successes so far, and they're interested in just going another step in their journey? What advice would you give to them?
Show up as yourself, or to represent your business. Be authentic. Research in your niche area that you want to be in. So for me, for food, I went back to school, tried to know the in and out for the business, to be able to establish yourself. So just never stop trying, never stop researching, as I say, and always provide the best service that you can to anybody who you encounter on a daily basis.
All right. Thank you so much, Moyen. Dwayne, when can we expect the MSME Business Roadshow to return? I'm wondering if I have to go get a business myself, Mr. King. Dwayne, when can we expect the roadshow to return?
Unfortunately, Sandra, if you do get a business within this year, you would meet the 1 year mark.
Wow. I don't like when these ministry people come on, Mr. King, and they're trying to shut me out of these programs. But my listeners are here, and so my listeners have businesses for over a year, so they want to know when they can expect a return of the roadshow. And I think people are liking what they're hearing, and honestly, it's a good initiative. So they want to know when they can start preparing their pitches for.
So, Sandra, the simple answer to that is that we're currently in planning phase, because what we do, we don't just go to each parish with the same rule book. We actually try to tailor-make the product based on the parish profile. And we are currently in the planning phase with the intention of having the next roadshow in short order. So we will be starting communication with the public in short order, but we're currently in the planning phase.
Okay, so which parishes have you done so far?
We have done 7 parishes so far: Manchester, St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. James, St. Anne, and St. Elizabeth.
And Kingston and St. Andrew.
And Kingston and St. Andrews.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so you're trying to spread as far and wide across the island.
Definitely, because we don't want MSMEs to have to venture into Kingston to do business with the government. We will come where you are to ensure that you get the service and benefit from much needed assistance that the government, not just the ministry, but other arms of government, other sponsors, other financial institutions have for you.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Dwayne. Thank you for joining us on Nationwide this morning. Thank you, Moyen, for joining us. That was Moyen Martin, Managing Director of MVM Cuisine. She's a small business pitch winner, and that was Acting Senior Director for the MSME Division at the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Mr. Dwayne Haynes. We are going for a break, and then we'll be right back with you, and we'll be able to squeeze in 2 calls. Mr. King, the studio lines are open. It's 630-937-124. We can squeeze 2 calls. 618-8255. 630-937-124. I was saying to the listeners that on Tuesday that George would have been in on Wednesday, but I have to tell you a secret, listeners. I was there on Tuesday. Was it Tuesday afternoon? I was there on Tuesday afternoon, and George called me. And he indicated that he would be there on Thursday instead of Wednesday, so then I had to change plans. So it's not my fault. It's not my fault. He did a switcheroo.
We here.
Yeah,
I had to go to Trelawney.
Yes, Christopher. Morning.
Morning, Sanjay.
Mm-hmm.
This is Sanjay.
No, Sandre, but it don't really matter. You can anything I call me. You're good.
All right. Yeah, man. Top of the morning to you and your listeners. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You know, I hear you talking about Trelawney just as I was coming on.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm begging Dr. Holness to do is speed up the water project for Retreat and the road from Brownstown.
Mm-hmm.
Once he do that, Northwest St. Ann with Crystal Lee, Southwest St. Ann with Xavier Main, Marissa Dalrymple going down in North Trelawney, and Tova Hamilton. We have that in the bag already.
Oh.
Yes, please. I just want him to, a water project kind of slow down. He came on the 21st of June last year, and he did a break, broke ground for the water project in Retreat. That for 50, well, I'm 62 now. For December, I'll be 62. For all of these years, we never have running water. And although we had some ministers from this side, Bertrell Whiteman, my teacher, the other one was Arnold Bertram, nothing was done under the PNP by them. I'm begging the Prime Minister just to speed up the contract, the water, and the road. Are we good?
Okay, Christopher.
Right. And I must commend Acting Assistant Commissioner, I don't know if he's confirmed yet, Powell, for the job that he has done in St. Ann, where crime is down. Well, overall, you could say, but we have to commend the man on the ground. That Mr. Powell, you know.
He's still acting. He's still acting, Chris. So he's gonna get the work. It's just inevitable, but he's acting for now.
Well, he's now at admin.
Yeah, man, up at Commissioner office. Yeah, man.
Right. But I am expecting the other man to take the baton and run with it.
Yes, man.
And do the work that's there, you know.
Yes, indeed.
Thanks for listening to me.
Not a problem, Christopher.
Yes.
Okay, so birthday time? Yeah.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is...
It's 8:44.
The Birthday Club is brought to you by Burger King, the best tasting burger under the sun.
Look at this face. I know the years are showing. Look at this life. I still don't know where it's going. I don't know much, but I know I love you. And that may be all I need to know.
Look at these eyes, they've never seemed matter. Look at these dreams, so big and so better.
I don't know much, but I know I love you. And that may be all I need to know.
If you're celebrating your anniversary today, this was a special request from your husband or your wife. But I'm pandering to the natural MTN crowd, Mr. King. happy birthday to my wife, Mrs. Terry Lamb Henry, who is celebrating her birthday tomorrow, April 12. I will always love you. That's from Christopher Henry. He asked for this song for you, Terry.
That may be all I need to know. Don't know much, but I know I love you. That may be all I need to know.
Yeah, for those celebrating your birthdays, it's your time.
Don't know the answer to x minus 5 plus y equals 0, but I know that I love you. That is it. That is it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What go on.
For our birthdays this morning, I have to send birthday greetings to Norma Taylor. Happy birthday to you. Lana Forbes, happy birthday to you. Nathalie Camus, happy birthday to you. Sadie Williams, a very, very happy birthday to you. Tayan Wright, a very happy birthday to you. And Diane White, happy birthday to you. I hope you enjoy your day, and it's a very special day to you. We have some other birthdays there, George.
Yeah, in the chat, Inez I. Campbell Murray says, sending a happy birthday to my daughter Jessica Hines in Fairfield, Connecticut in the United States. Jessica is celebrating her birthday today. Your mom, Inez I. Campbell Murray, says she loves you lots, loaded love for you. So Jessica Hines, Fairfield, Connecticut, your mom is sending happy birthday greetings to you. I am looking and I see, well, several people are sending happy birthday greetings to Ava Smith. So Ava, a lot of people know you and are pumping up the love for you.
Ava Smith or Ava Mills?
Ava Mills, I saw Annie Smith. So Ava Mills, correct is right. Ava Mills, happy birthday from all of Nationwide YouTube this morning.
Yes,
Yeah?
yes.
Miss Sunshine says, happy belated birthday to my sister Rita Buckley. It was on April 10th. She says, may you celebrate many more. So belated birthday greetings to Rita Buckley coming from your sister Miss Sunshine. I saw one that says, happy birthday to Mrs. Audrey Gibbs in Brownstown, St. Anne.
Yeah.
Garfield Thompson.
From all the way in London.
From London, yeah? Sending the birthday greetings to. So Mrs. Audrey Gibbs, Brownstown, St. Anne. Garfield T and the crew in London says, happy birthday. We say any more here.
I have VIB here. Please send birthday greetings for Winsome Andrews at the JSIF, Jamaica Social Investment Fund. She celebrates her birthday today. Winsome, we're getting special greetings out there for you. Very happy birthday to you. Another one I have here. Happy birthday greetings to my favorite daughter, Mia Alexis Price. You are perfectly imperfect and simply amazing. Greetings from your mother Kimon and your brother Sean J and Uncle Fernando. Happy birthday to you, Mia Alexis, and of course I hope you enjoy your day.
Happy Earth Strong to my General Neville Bliss, aka Gold Bike. The man never age. God bless you, says Everton Harris. So Everton Harris sending Earth Strong greetings to his General Neville Bliss, aka Gold Bike. So Gold Bike, big up yourself this morning, Pani Yang, my G, yeah?
Yeah.
Everton Harris says you never age. You bathe in the fountain of youth.
Dion Melbrook saying happy birthday to my son Okel, your mom Diane, she's sending those birthday greetings to you. Oh, I tongue twister.
Yeah, Etta Barkley says happy birthday greetings to a wonderful friend, godmother and confidant, Beverly Williams from Charlemont in St. Catherine. She'll be celebrating her birthday on Saturday. And Beverly Williams, Etta Barkley says, thank you for everything.
Yeah, Gene, you're not going to... I can't compete with George on air. I don't know if he can stand the test of time.
What was that working?
The Birthday Club was brought to you by Burger King, the best tasting burger under the sun.
Come and move that in my direction. So thankful for that, it's such a blessing, yeah. Turn every situation into heaven, yeah. Oh, you.
Hold on. Feel that down, Mr. King, you know? As I see the name in the chat, Everton Harris bigging up his general, Gold Bike. You know, Jamaicans, we're very cruel when it comes to nicknames, you know?
Yeah.
So, my friend and former colleague, the great Lance Whitaker, told me a joke about a man. He said they had a reunion and they were talking about a guy and he had a particular ailment. So, you know, so Jamaicans love use a sickness and give a nickname. So I'm sure I've told Tana this one when I was telling her that the man, Sandre, apparently developed polio. And so he had one of his arms was longer than the other. And guess what was his nickname?
I don't think I can guess that one.
You can. The nickname? Clock.
What? No. You know, it's kind of obvious. It's kind of
that's what I said to you. One long hand, one short hand, but they can't clock.
Yeah. Oh my God, man.
Anyway, play the tune, Mr. King. Play the tune. I don't have to get that one out. Play the tune, squeeze it out.
Come and move in my direction.
See, her mind said long short. Yeah, that's the first thing that came to my head. But it makes perfect sense.
My sunrise on the darkest day got me feeling some kind of way. Make me wanna savor every moment slowly. You fit me, tailor-made, love how you put it on.
Oh boy.
Got the only key, know how to turn it on. The way you never lie my ear, the only words I wanna hear. Baby, take it slow so we can last long.
Tú eres el imán y yo soy el metal. Me voy acercando y voy armando el plan. Solo con pensarlo se acelera el pulso. Oh yeah, yeah.
Hold on. Romeo Taff in the chat says, George, you missed my wife's birthday and anniversary, sir. Then Romeo, type it back quick now so we can see it. So send it back right now, Romeo, and I will I'll punch it in for you.
Si no estás conmigo, despacito, quiero desnudarte a besos despacito, firmo las paredes de tu laberinto y hacer de tu cuerpo todo un manuscrito.
Quiero ver bailar tu pelo, quiero ser tu ritmo, que le enseñes a mi boca tus lugares favoritos. Déjame sobrepasar tus zonas de peligro hasta provocar tus gritos y que olvides tu apellido.
Si te pido un beso, ven dámelo. Yo sé que estás pensándolo. Llevo tiempo intentándolo. Mami, estoy dándolo. Sabes que tu corazón conmigo te hace bam bam. Sabes que esa beba está buscando de mi bam bam. Me prueba de mi boca para ver cómo te sabe. Quiero ver cuánto amor a ti te cabe. Yo no tengo prisa, yo me quiero dar el viaje. Empezamos lento, después salvaje. Pasito a pasito, suavecito. Nos vamos pegando poquito a poquito.
Mr. King, I felt bad. Mix this with Lambada. Turn up the scheme, Mr. King. Turn up the scheme. Do it, Mr. King. Do it. From our childhood on the primary school playground, every little boy and girl walking around singing. Not Despacito. Mr. King, what we used to sing? Come on, find it. Alright? See, Telo? People that never know such Jamaican King bad, see the evidence here. It mix! song comes in. Silver Eagle says, Mr. King, turn it on a little bit there. Hi, Silver Eagle says, can you big up my mother for me? This is her 100th birthday. Is this Adiza Martin coming from her 6 children? So, Mama Martin, 100 not out. Your 6 children are saying happy birthday, Mama, and they love you endlessly. That's from Silver Eagle to his mom, Adiza Martin, and her 6 children sending birthday greetings to Mama for being 100 not out. You see the birthday there? Okay, hold on then. Hold on there. I'm looking for it. What can you see it? Wait there.
Tough.
You find it?
Yeah.
Run it now.
Please wish my beautiful wife, Dahlia Taff, a wonderful pre-birthday and anniversary. Please play Ed Sheeran, We Found Love. Mr. King.
Yeah, man, play it, man.
Please play Ed Sheeran, We Found Love.
Alright, Mr. Taff, we got it in. Pre-birthday.
And for those asking me to dance, I will say publicly that a friend of mine was supposed to teach me to salsa, and he hasn't gotten around to it yet. But when I get there, I'll get the clips. I'll get the clips. I'm not going to do what George is doing.
I'm not trying to remember all the lambada dances that what the girl used to do in a primary school.
But I'll get the clips.
Ed Sheeran, Romeo Taff, you say you want a pre-birthday song for your wife. Here it is. I hope you give her pre-presents, man. Pre-presents.
Will your eyes still smile from your cheek?
Good morning to
No, you can't do that way. It was a good morning to Mr. Give it the baritone, man. Go deeper, man.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I want to give a special good morning to Miss Daphne, wherever you are, and of course Uncle Ralph. You're getting a big up as well, but it's really for Miss Daphne. You understand how it goes already. We're just sending you that special greeting. I think I saw while we play this song, Tace Campbell saying, please big up Godfrey and Elaine Campbell, who celebrated their 35th wedding anniversary on Monday,
big
achievement. 7th of April.
Big achievement.
Wishing you a very happy anniversary. No, I won't talk about my anniversary yet. But
no, not talk about it. Who done it says, please send 90th birthday wishes to my father-in-law, Mr. Walton Hunt. So Walton Hunt, 90, not out. Who done it sending happy birthday greetings to you, Mr. Walton Hunt.
I'm thinking
out loud. Maybe we found love right where.
Alright, we're getting the rap signal. You know, we don't want to leave, but all good things come to an end, and this is the end of our show today. It was a good day, of course. I did not get to dance, but George got to select, and Mr. King found the right songs at the right time. Big up yourself, Michelle McCree Smith, our producer extraordinaire, of course our editor Kimon Thompson, and the musical maestro being a maestro with the music, Mr. Jermaine King. I'm Sondre Roden.
And I'm George.
Good morning.
Baby,
you've just heard Nationwide this morning on Nationwide 90 FM.
I'm thinking about how people fall in love in mysterious ways.
Fearless and fair. Nationwide 90 FM.